what you sent us off on our sheet.
Okay, that was Greg. Yeah.
Is that it? Skylar Dar, Ian Martin, Joe Langham.
One. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out.
Isaiah Harrison, Dave Tucker, Connor,
Miles Force. Yes, yes. Guilford Tech via Queens College, Guilford College. Just gets in. Paxton Tucker.
High school.
No, that's not even his high school.
That's what it says on there.
Oh, that's a different kid.
Yeah, I know, but they're all right here. I got them all listed up.
Okay. Paxton, he's project. You look at it, it's like going to the MLB. Favorite, you got that one. He's Peace, William Peace.
Where is Paxton Tucker going to college?
We're working on that one.
Did he go to Magna Vista High School?
Yeah. Bridgewater. Not the one in Virginia, but the one where you have to mark.
Which kid is that?
Molotors. Longwood. Oh, you got him. Greensboro Tech. Mid Atlantic. You got that one. G-Tech.
You said Bridgewater or Regional?
I've known him since I was taller than him, and he's 6'7". Yeah. And him and his grandmother both thought he was is and then this guy
just in case this shuts like it goes
his MLB name Johnson.
Okay.
So feel free when he comes up to announce him as Rod Johnson anytime he wants to.
All right, you hear that? Okay.
He is a PO, but he got a home run senior year of high school off of Tucker Holland, probably going to get drafted. Yeah. So that's his claim to fame in hitting. He's getting ready to go to the second semester of summer school, so I put him in the lineup. Basically going to be he's not starting. Paxton Tucker, we call him Big Country. Big Country. I guess that's it. Thinking of any other, try to come up with something embarrassing. I mean, you look at him, there's no way you think he is, but I remember like on travel. Right. Yeah.
You're right.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. Oh, another reason why I came up, is there a spot I could
that's just.
Sorry, we have.
All right, I appreciate you guys. You know if I can do anything.
Fungo Baseball. We're glad you have joined us today in the forest, and we're especially proud to have Mitchell Heating and Cooling as a sponsor and a supporter of Wake Forest Fungo Baseball. Mitchell Heating and Cooling's rich tradition is built on a Welcome to the town of Wake Forest, home of Fungo Baseball. We're glad you have joined us today in the forest, and we're especially proud to have Mitchell Heating and Cooling as a sponsor and a supporter of Wake Forest Fungo Baseball. Mitchell Heating and Cooling's rich tradition is built on a reputation of quality, integrity, and a great value for the customer's dollar. For over 50 years, Mitchell Heating and Cooling has continuously met its customers' needs by maintaining, servicing, designing, and installing quality systems that will stand the test of time. Mitchell Heating and Cooling is a premier-level Trane comfort specialist that has been certified by Trane as having met Trane's stringent standards and is committed to being the best in every aspect of business. Reach out to us today at mitchellhvac.com for all your heating and cooling needs. Enjoy your day here in the forest and roll Fungo!
Audio Jungle.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside JB Flaherty Park. It's been a few minutes, but we are back inside the park. Wake Forest Fungo will be taking on the Carolina Ducks. Josh Bartosa, joined alongside me is Trey Stein on Next Door Radio and the Wake Forest Fungo YouTube live stream. And Trey, these two teams kind of coming into this on opposite sides of the spectrum. The Fungo have won 3 in a row, outscoring opponents by over 30 runs in that process, while the Ducks have lost 3 in a row and have been outscored by 30 runs in the process.
Let me tell you, this past week, not only did the Fungo have to get by all the rain and the storms and the lightning and whatever it was, but he had 3 games were rained out last week. But Saturday and Sunday was just a great day of baseball here in Wake Forest, where the Fungo were able to really do what they wanted to the entire weekend. It was a beautiful day for baseball, but the Fungo came out firing.
Absolutely. I mean, you talk about a 16-5 win over Oak City, and that was yesterday. And in that process, you had a couple of guys get Player of the Game awards. Thomas Fox was one of the co-player of the game, sponsored by Mitchell Heating and Cooling. He went 3 for 4 with a run and a double. Jackson Rutecki, the other Mitchell Heating and Cooler player, 2 for 4 with 3 runs, 2 RBIs, and a walk to his name. We'll talk about that Wake Forest Fungo lineup as they are getting ready for the national anthem. In left field will be Tommy Martinez, center field Will Hood, right field Thomas Fox, at first base Hogan Stalling, second base Anthony Mita, who just recently transferred out of Campbell University. Shortstop is Jack Boyles today, Lawson Wheeler at third, Elijah Jordan behind the plate, Jackson Rutecki, your extra hitter, Austin Williams, your designated hitter, and Ryder Jeske on the mound. Looking at the Carolina Ducks roster, Skylar Dark leading off in left field. Batting second, Ian Martin, the catcher today. Joe Swankamp, shortstop, batting third. Isaiah Harrison, the first baseman, batting cleanup today. Paxton Tucker, the center fielder, fifth. Connor Kubis, the right fielder, sixth. Colin Jordan, the third baseman, batting seventh. Bryce Molatoris, batting eighth, the second baseman today. And Owen Simmons, the designated hitter, will be batting ninth with Rembach on the mound for the Ducks. That being Walt Rembach. He pitched yesterday. Gave up 3 runs, did not record an out, with 3 walks in their big loss yesterday to make it 3 straight. Outscored 40-10 in those games, the Ducks. And the thing with the Ducks is that they're a team with a lot of young talent, a lot of guys that are just freshmen and were going to be seniors in high school. But we're going to get to the national anthem, so we'll take a quick break before we come back right here on Next Door Radio.
Hey, we made it easy for you here on Next Door Radio and nextdoorradio.com. Available now by way of the Google and Apple Store is the Next Door Radio app. Anywhere you want to go, you can take Next Door with you. All the local talk programs, all local sports, and a great mix of 70s, 80s classic rock you can now take anywhere you want to go by download the Nextdoor Radio app today. Available Google and Apple stores. Unforgettaballs.com. 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 Now that I have your attention, I want to take a moment to tell you about Unforgettaballs.com. Unforgettaballs.com specializes in hand-painted baseballs for every baseball fan. They also create a customized coaster, bottle opener, and so much more. Visit their website today at unforgettaballs.com and follow them on all of their social media outlets today. That's unforgettaballs.com. Ready to get back in the game? Great news. The movement experts at Breakthrough Physical Therapy can help athletes and their families find pain relief with lasting results to keep you off the sidelines. With over 20 convenient locations across North Carolina and South Carolina, contact Breakthrough today at breakthrough-pt.com to see a physical therapist. Breakthrough Physical Therapy, a trusted choice for keeping athletes and their fans in the game.
Back inside JB Flaherty Park, Josh Bartosa joining alongside Trey Snide on Next Door Radio and the Wake Forest Fungo YouTube live stream. We're just about set for the first pitch. Ryder Jeske on the mound, as previously mentioned, for the Wake Forest Fungo on the season, a 6.35 ERA, 5.2 innings pitched, 5 runs against, 4 walks, and 9 strikeouts, holding opponents to a 1.82 batting average. As leading off for the Carolina Ducks will be Skylar Dark, the left fielder today.
Dark from Greensboro, North Carolina. Left side of the plate, ready to roll.
First pitch from Jeske is in there for strike one. Dark falls behind 0-1. Dark, a Guilford College commit, went to Vandalia Christian High School, hit .451 with 19 RBIs and 3 home runs. As he swings for the next pitch, 0-2.
He just looks like a solid, he looks like a baseball player in general. He's got a good stance, a good swing. And he made a good swing there on the missed ball, but look for him to bounce back.
0-2 pitch outside, ball 1. And a good eye by Dark. Yeah, you talk about it. A lot of these players that we kind of mentioned about on the Ducks are younger guys just now graduating high school. Some still going to be in high school next year. Looking to impress college scouts over this summer as that next pitch inside, ball 2. Evens and counted 2 apiece.
You talked a little bit about it where Jeske, he is a young player as well. So this is kind of the perfect opportunity for him to kind of tone a little bit. Again, the first time out we saw him doing play-by-play together, he was able to kind of get out of some jams.
First pitch is being lined directly to the shortstop Boyles, and he'll make the easy first out. So one away for the Ducks, and leading on, coming up now for Carolina will be Ian Martin playing catcher today.
Now batting the catcher number 8, Ian Martin.
From Carlisle High School out of Virginia, 188 pounds, 5'10". He looks a little bit stronger than that 188-pound frame there.
Jeske's first pitch, high, ball 1. Talking a little bit about Martin. On yesterday's game against the Bogies, went 3 for 4 with 2 runs. They lost the game 19-9. They had a huge lead up 8-3, and the bullpen just completely exploded as that first pitch is going to be hopped on the ground, picked up by Mita. He'll toss it underhanded over to Stallings at first for out number 2 in the top half of this first inning. Still no score as the Ducks on the threat of getting 3 straight outs to start this contest.
Again, Ian Martin from the Ducks, his really, as a player himself, his pop time as a catcher is 2.11. As a catcher, that's pretty good for such a young player.
Up now is Joe Swankamp. We've seen him a couple times earlier this season with the, whatever they called the 3-game set they made at the beginning of the month. It was a scorcher out there, but the Ducks played the
doubleheader,
the Valley Stars, the Catawba Valley Stars, and then the Ducks ended up playing the Fungo later in that contest. Swankamp steps into the left-handed batter's box. Went 0 for 2 at the plate on Tuesday. He's playing second in that contest. He's playing shortstop today. That Next pitch, low for a ball. So 2-1 count to the shortstop at the Chapel Hill High School and committed at Queens University. Jeski's next pitch is going to be popped into foul territory on the left side, trying to call for it and making the play. It will be Lawson Wheeler. So a 1-2-3 inning for Ryder Jeski and the Fungo. They'll come up to bat when we come back from the break.
Oliver's Towing and Recovery is a family-owned and operated local business since 1965. This local family business does towing and recovery in and surrounding areas of Granville County. Oliver's Towing and Recovery also does jump starts, lockouts, tire changes, fuel delivery, local and long-distance tows, and medium and heavy-duty towing. Call today if you need a pick-me-up from Oliver's Towing and Recovery at 919-693-2520. That's 919-693-2520, or find them online at oliverstowingllc.com. There's nothing too big or too small for Oliver's Towing and Recovery.
When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect restaurant or the right clothes. It also feels really good making the right insurance decision. That's where State Farm agent Margier White can help. Stop in at 234 Raleigh Road in Henderson and let her help you select the right protection at the right price. State Farm agent Margier White will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you know what to expect when the unexpected happens. Stop by and visit today at 234 Raleigh Road or give her a call at 252-598-0163. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Now's the best time of year to get more for your money on new Mahindras. Enjoy 0% interest or save thousands of dollars on rugged Mahindra tractors. That's more for less on many of Mahindra's best-selling models, with tractors that deliver more lift capacity, fuel efficiency, and built-in weight. Save more on Mahindra today. Visit Vanco Outdoor Equipment, your local Mahindra tractor dealer. 0% APR. Financing available for limited time only. See us or go to MahindraUSA.com for more information.
Back inside JB Flaherty Park, Josh Bartoza joined alongside Trey Snyder on Nextdoor Radio and the Wake Forest Fungo YouTube live stream. No score after the top half of one inning. 1-2-3. Did the Ducks go down thanks to Ryder Jeski and some stellar defense. Now come the Fungo's first chance at the plate. Leading off will be Thomas Fox, the right fielder tonight. Was the Mitchell Heating and Cooling player of the game after going 3 for 4 with a double and a stolen base in yesterday's big win over the Oak City Gliders. And Walt Rembach on his first pitch just kind of stumbles off the mound. We'll talk about him for a little bit. Random pitcher. Just graduated high school. Uncommitted. He went to Greensboro Day High School at a 4.27 ERA with 76 strikeouts in 24 appearances. He also hit .311 with 38 RBI, so a little bit of a dual threat as that first pitch to Fox is in there for strike one.
You got to be patient with Wimbach because he's got a slow release, very low release as he releases the ball from his kind of below his head line. Hit by pitch, Thomas Fox lead off the game there.
Yeah, we were just talking about it, and immediately the second pitch, Fox gets hit. So an early base runner for the Fungo brings up Jack Boyles, the shortstop, and batting second in tonight's contest.
I mean, it looks already it looks uncomfortable. Not only did he slip on the very first throw, but his second throw was hit by a pitch. It looks uncomfortable. We talked a little bit about where it's a slow release. And good hit there.
Next pitch is going to be, first pitch to Boyles, going to be smacked and go over the head of the center fielder. That goes all the way to the wall. Thomas Fox rounding second. He will stop at third. And Jack Boyles with a first pitch double. And just like that, 2 runners in scoring position early on for the Wake Forest Fungo.
Some good game prep for the Wake Forest Fungo. Again, hit by pitch. Thomas Fox lead off the game. And then, of course, Jake Boyles, who's had a terrific season, starting to heat up this last couple weeks. So watch out for if that young man gets going, these opponents are in trouble against the Fungo. But right now, Anthony Amita, who decommitted in the transfer portal from Campbell, who had a .338 this past year for Campbell. He's ready to roll.
He was 1 for 3 with 2 runs and an RBI in yesterday's contest, like you mentioned. Just announced last week that he entered the transfer portal, so looking to find a new home after the Fighting Campbells got out early on in the NCAA tournament thanks to South Carolina's monster offense. First pitch was low for a ball, and the next pitch will also be inside 2-0. So 5 pitches already for Rembach. He's a hit by pitch, gave up a double, and 2 balls, including the wonky first pitch that never went across. As the next pitch is inside on the outside corner. First strike 1, 2-1 to Anthony Mita, the second baseman in tonight's contest. Went to Leesville Road High School alongside Austin Williams, who is the designated hitter in tonight's game. Next pitch inside and low, ball 3. So a 3-1 count to Mita. Runners on second and third after Fox was hit by a pitch in. Boyles lined the first pitch he saw for a double over the head of the center fielder Tucker.
Call a strike on the outside corner where it looked like it touched the other side of the batter's box, but the ump gave it to him, helping him out a little bit here.
Full count for Rembach and Anthony Mita at the plate in the left-handed batter's box. The payoff pitch, low for ball 4, so nobody out, bases loaded, brings up the designated hitter, the cleanup hitter for tonight, and the extra hitter, Jackson Rutecki, who was the co-player of the game with Thomas Fox last night. After going 2 for 4, had a pair of RBIs, and a chance to build off of that with nobody out and the bases juiced. And the first pitch is going to be lined to go through the legs of the pitcher, Rembach. That will score 1. Coming around third is Jack Boyles. That will score 2. And Rutecki on the first pitch he sees gets a 2 RBI single, and the Wake Forest Fungo strike first.
Again, right up the middle of the plate. That's exactly where Rutecki was able to put it when he hit it under the legs of Rembach, 51, the pitcher for the Ducks. And kind of slowed it down a little bit. He kicked it, but it was able to have enough force off the back to be able to get the score 2. The very first runs of the game belong to the Fungo.
Still no outs. Rembach now facing Will Hood, the center fielder in tonight's contest. From UNC Pembroke, hit .343 with the Braves, 42 runs, 52 RBIs, and 5 homers. So far for the Fungo, a .294 average with 6 RBIs himself. 1-0 count to Will Hood. That pitch high for ball 2. So Rembach already struggling, and we've talked about the bullpen for the Carolina Ducks. It has not been their strong suit. They cannot afford to go to the bullpen as early as the first inning, as the Fungo are still threatening. A 2-0 count to Hood. That pitch is going to be low for a ball. Good job by Martin behind the plate to keep it in front of him.
Again, bases loaded, a big-time jam to kick off this game for the Ducks. So let's see what one of the hottest hitters, or one of those, Will Hood, who's had another good season as well, has been patient, and just like that, another walk will make it bases loaded.
Well, it's a little easy to be patient when the 3-0 pitch almost hits you in the face, but nonetheless, the bases are loaded again.
Ooh, look who's coming up. Hogan Stallings.
Hogan Stallings, who at the beginning of the month was the hottest player on the Fungo himself. Had some big go-ahead home runs, some big go-ahead RBIs in some games against the Fuquay Arena Twins and then back home in some other contests. Already a pitcher's visit, as Rembach now twice has loaded the bases. Still nobody out. And the Fungo are really, really threatening to break this game open before it's really even begun.
Well, the first time these guys played, again, it was the opening weekend. And so we thought there might be some jitters, whatnot. Well, right now, the Fungo have continued to get better all year long. And their offense has really been a force to kind of reckon with. One of the reasons is Hogan Stallings. This home matchup was able to hit a jack down the right field line for his 3rd home run of the season. Let me tell you right now, if he hangs one over the center of the plate, Hogan.
Well, he hits the first one deep down the right field line, but coming in to make the play will be the right fielder Connor Kubis, but that's deep enough to plate a run to make it 3-0. So a sacrifice fly for Hogan Stallings just got under that pitch. But the first out for Rembach on the mound, but not before 3 runs have come across in this inning.
No matter how you get it, he hit it in the outfield and just high enough, long enough to bring in a run to make it 3-0 for the Fungo early in the first inning. Getting 1 out in the bottom of the first.
Tommy Martinez up now, the left fielder in today's contest. The first pitch, runner from first goes. And it's a double steal, and coming home will be another runner as the throw goes well wide into center field So a perfectly executed double steal as Will Hood stole second, and the other runner came across. So now it's 4-0, and that is beautifully done by the Wake Forest Fungo. So still one out. Tommy Martinez is still at the plate. Now 4 runs across in this first inning run. Right now, Will Hood's going to go for third. He has to get there easily as Martin couldn't corral the ball behind the plate. Back-to-back stolen bases for Will Hood.
Remind you, here even in college ball, just like rec bar, high school ball, it's a 10-1 rule. So not to jinx anybody, because I've been known to do that pretty good.
Next pitch outside for ball 3. So a 3-0 count already to Tommy Martinez. And Rembach is still struggling. That next pitch is going to be smacked into shallow center field. Racing to try and make the play is a center fielder. Tucker, the center fielder. He'll make the play, but tagging up and scoring from third is Will Hood. So another sacrifice fly makes it 5-0 already for the Wake Forest Fungo. And they have really broken this game open.
Lawson Wheeler coming to the plate, third baseman, number 9 for the Fungo. Again, bases are empty for the first time really since the opening batter where Thomas Fox got hit by a pitch. And with 2 outs, already 5-0 here in the bottom of the first. They have come out firing.
First pitch to Lawson Wheeler inside for ball 1, and Rembach still struggling to get any control or really any help.
That could be tough for a young pitcher, again, somebody that's coming up.
And there's like that. Lawson Wheeler gets a single, and trying to make a diving play was Swankamp, the shortstop. But I think regardless of that one, looked like Lawson Wheeler was going to make it to first safely. So a single for Lawson Wheeler keeps the first inning going. And that brings up the designated hitter, number 17, Austin Williams.
Again, we talked a little bit about before that base hit from Lawson Wheeler. Austin Williams coming up the bat. It's got to be difficult going down 5-0 in the first for a young pitcher as Rembach tonight.
Well, it's tough as a young pitcher because you're going against guys. Well, that pitch nearly hit Austin Williams, being ducked out of the way for ball 1. We talked about how young this team is, but for the Wake Forest Fungo, they're not necessarily a young team. They have a nice mix of guys that just finished their first year, some juniors, some seniors, some grad students as well. So for a guy that's fresh out of high school and he just plinks Austin Williams right there.
No, hit him off the bat.
They're going to say hit off the bat.
Off the backswing.
Unlucky for Austin Williams. A bit of a break for Rembach, who has yet to get one in this contest. Evens the count at 1 apiece.
Wow.
But when you're a guy that's fresh out of high school and you're going against guys that are 3-4 years older than you that have seen college ball before, it certainly is a little bit difficult. And he clearly has been in his head, shaking his head after almost every single pitch. Just doesn't have the confidence that you want to see from a starting pitcher. But he got a bit of a break. Let's see if he can bounce back. 1-1 pitch. Drops in beautifully there. The breaking ball for strike 2. So he's ahead in the count for the first time. 1-2, 2 outs. Runner on first. Already 5 across in this bottom half of the first inning for the Wake Forest Fungo. But run back 1 pitch away from getting out of it with no more damage. Runner will go. And it looks like that one's going to hit Williams. So the stolen base doesn't even matter. And a hit by pitch for the second time in this first inning brings up the bottom of this order. Elijah Jordan, the catcher in today's contest, keeps the ball rolling.
If you're tuned in from the Sunday matchup where Nick Badgett and
just like that, sorry to interrupt you there,
Trey,
Trey,
no,
but another hit by pitch. That's the third of this inning. And it looks like Rembach is really struggling. Lineup is going to roll over. First inning.
So God bless. They're, of course, both okay.
Break right before we come back to the top of the second.
In the greater Triangle area. Visit their website today to schedule. You can contact them there as well. PlumServeLLC.com. Again, that's PlumServeLLC.com.
When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect restaurant or the right clothes. It also feels really good making the right insurance decision. That's where State Farm agent Margie White can help. Stop in at 234 Raleigh Road in Henderson and let her help you select the right protection at the right price. State Farm agent Margie White will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you know what to expect when the unexpected happens. Stop by and visit today
or save thousands of dollars on rugged Mahindra tractors. That's more for less on many of Mahindra's best-selling models, with tractors that deliver more lift capacity, fuel efficiency, and built-in weight. Save more on Mahindra today. Visit Vanco Outdoor Equipment, your local Mahindra tractor dealer. 0% APR. Financing available for limited time only. See us or go to MahindraUSA.com for more information.
Top half of the second inning in JB Flaherty Park. 5-run first inning for the Wake Forest Fungo, thanks to a rough outing to start for Walt Rembach. Is up now is Isaiah Hairston batting fourth and playing first base tonight. First pitch in there for strike one.
Again, Jesse has come out looking like the more poised, the more veteran player that we've seen him the last couple of outings, compared to Rembach, who has come out, gave up 5. Again, not to kind of throw shade on anybody, but he just looks more comfortable on the mound.
In yesterday's contest against the Bogies. In time 1-0 the count. Runner on first. A lot of 10U rec league games played. There's a few that Paxton Tucker beat it out by at least a step, but nonetheless, it'll be a double play.
Again, we've got, when he got hit in the chest with the baseball, didn't really know what to do. Strike number 2, good breaking ball from Jeske. Woo, that was nice.
Jeske having a phenomenal start. Gave up the single and then got right back into it with the double play. Now already up 0-2 to Connor Kubis. Playing right field today for the Ducks. Kubis from Averett University had a .059 average with the Cougars. He's to roll that one slowly over towards first, but making the
A Vase Texas Roadhouse gift card. That's $550. October 28th at 2 p.m. You do not have to be present to win. Again, 100% of all ticket sales and are starting at $12, depending on size, and bracelets are only $3 each. Towing for a Cure. Pretty in Pink Foundation, sponsored by everyone in Oliver's Towing. More information, 919.
Inside Flaherty Park once more. Bottom half of the second inning. Josh Bartosik alongside Trey Snide on the Next Door Radio and Wake Forest Fungo YouTube live stream. 5-0 in favor of the Fungo. New pitcher on the mound. Also the designated hitter for the night. That's Owen Simmons, number 19 on the mound for the Ducks. Thin lineup, and he'll pump a fastball low for ball 1.
Again, new pitcher after Walt Rembach gave up 5 runs. Had a couple hit by pitch, a double given up, 3 singles, and 3 hit by pitch, and 1 walk. So 2 walks, excuse me. A little bit of everything for Rembach. But new pitcher Simmons, again, looks a little bit more put together, should you say, regarding his repertoire. His fastball looks to be in the low 90s. Great breaking ball that will start at the head, your neck, and cut down. So he's got a good breaking ball. So watch out for the Fungo here. Got to be patient, especially with that breaking ball for him.
2-1 pitch bounces before it gets to the plate. Make it a 3-1 count. Talking about Simmons. We haven't been able to talk to him yet when he's come to the plate. Graduate high school this year. He's committed to Longwood University. Double in the first, and now walks in the second. 2 walks yesterday. Went 1 for 3 still. Has a bunch of walks as runner will go, and Jack Bowles is in there safely with another stolen base. So testing the catcher behind the plate for the Ducks. That's Martin, and the new pitcher, and just like that, another runner in scoring position. And only 5 more runs before the Wake Forest Fungo get into that mercy rule scenario like you talked about, and we could see it in record fashion.
Well, we talked a little bit about that steal where Martin, he's got a 2.11.
He'll make it known.
Exactly right.
Not vocally, but he'll make it kind of with his body language as the next pitch catches the outside corner for strike 1. Rutecki singled his first time up, also came with Rutecki's leg. He'll step back into the batter's box with no harm. So Simmons pitching a lot better than Ramon. Graduated high school this. Make it a full count for Jackson Rutecki. One gone on the bottom half of the second, 5-0 your score in favor of the Wake Forest Fungo. Boyles on second after a single and stolen base. And Simmons will step off the mound to
They're active.
check on Boyles.
Yeah. They're active on the base pad. You keep talking about Boyles dancing over there at second base. They're going to test the arm of Martin.
And Rutecki's going to line a single onto right field. Boyles is going to come around third. And there is not going to be a play at the plate. He'll come in standing. So 6-0. And another run comes across. Back-to-back singles for Jackson Rutecki. And it's 6-0.
Already 3 RBIs today for Jackson Rutecki. We're only in the bottom of the second inning. 6-0 in favor of your Wake Forest Fungo. We talked a little bit about Mitchell Heating and Cooling player of the game. This might be an early
He was co-player
opportunity.
last night alongside Thomas Fox. Could get it back-to-back nights. Or not, last night. And then obviously this game on pace to finish a lot quicker than the other one. But with 3 RBIs and 2 for 2 on the day, he's leading the charge right now. First pitch into Will Hood was a ball. Next pitch on the outside corner for strike one.
And low 90s fastball. We'll say 92, 93 for the young hurler who just finished high school here in 2023.
Rutecki's going to go, and Martin can't even get the ball out of his glove. So another stolen base for the Fungo.
Got to be careful. That was Rutecki didn't get the best of jumps on that steal as he was attempting to go to second, and fortunately, number 8 for Ian Martin, the catcher for the Ducks, bobbled it.
We talk about his pop time. It's not necessarily the fastest you've seen. And when he is a young catcher behind the plate, they're going to test him, and he has just not had the ability right now to catch any of these runners or gun them down. 2-2 count to Will Hood. Still just one gone in the bottom half of the second inning. And he's going to fly one, and it's going to drop. A nice little blue pit into center. It's going to bounce off the glove of Kubis in right field, and that'll give the chance for Rutecki to come all the way around home and make it 7-0 through 2 innings for the Wake Forest Fungo. A brain error out in right field. Kubis could have easily prevented Rutecki from coming around to score, but instead he'll come all the way around at 7-0.
I love those off the barrel, into the barrel hits. It just sounds. Of course, you like the ones that hit directly in the middle of the barrel, but those off the end of the bat kind of flares into outfield. I love those.
Kind of poked it out there and just could not come up with the play. Could Kubis in the first pitch to Hogan Stallings to be a ball.
Currently, not to call Mr. Hogan out, he's the only one that hasn't actually reached base yet. So I know everybody's listening from the Stallings group. And shout out to my buddy Lance Stalling, athletic director for Vance Charter, who is my son's 6-year-old son's athletic director in his school in Henderson. So shout out to him. Does a great job there. He's been an asset to that school. So
I like how you're shouting him out and then at the same time calling out.
I did that on purpose. Yeah.
It's perfect. Throw over to first, not going to be in time. As Will Hood gets back in safely. Like you said, Stallings and Martinez both had sacrifice flies. But Stallings obviously the first one to not necessarily make it on base. And the next pitch will be outside, and Martin thought that Will Hood was going to go, and that was his best throw all night from behind the plate.
He's smiling, laughing at himself. He's my bad. Just a little warm-up, a little practice.
Maybe trying to prevent Will Hood from stealing a base, but 2-1 count now, still one gone, 7-0 in favor of the Fungo, who have just been exploding on offense.
I feel like the Martin was a little fooled. Thought he was going to get a breaking ball, had to catch that. Almost went by him before he caught it.
3-1 count to Stallings. First baseman tonight, and he'll take ball 4.
He wants to hit so bad.
He's one of the guys that likes to swing for the fences, so getting a 5-pitch walk is never his favorite activity.
So I was wrong. Martinez looks to be now the only one not on base.
But it gave you the opportunity to shout someone out, so we'll let it slide.
That's right.
When it's a 7-0 game through an inning and a half, things get a little sloppy already. The first pitch to Martinez catches the outside lower corner for strike one.
Good pitch. He's got a lot of fastball. I mean, he's a good young pitcher. You're talking about the walk and then the kind of the bloop hit in the outfield off the end of the bat, and you take a couple of those away, you're doing pretty good. But again, giving up 2 runs here in the bottom of the second, only 1 out.
0-2 pitch. May have thought he might have called that one on the inside
I thought
corner.
he was going to call it.
Instead, he doesn't. It's a 1-2 count to Tommy Martinez. Still just 1 out. Runners on first and second. 2 across in this inning. Increase the lead to 7-0. And Simmons throws a fastball that Martinez will just get a piece of to stay alive in the count, 1-2. Martinez played baseball and golf at his high school in Enlow as a 2-year team captain and a 2-time all-conference selection. It was also the president of the DECA at Enlow. Next pitch going to bounce in before it reaches the plate. Good job by Martin to keep the runners from advancing.
Good stop there by Martin. Again, a little bit erratic, but it has the speed to be able to get across the plate, but just not finding rhythm, especially from Rimbach in the first inning and, of course, now Simmons. Not finding that rhythm that the Ducks have seen the last couple games. Again, dancing over there at second base now.
Next pitch outside once more, so a full count to Martinez. And Simmons still struggling to get himself out of a jam. Martinez 308 average with the Fungo this season, 6 runs and 6 RBIs. Chance to get his 7th with a runner right there at second, but going to hit it right up the middle. Going to step on second will be Molitoris, and he'll throw it over to Hairston for the double play to get out of the inning, but not before 2 runs come across to make it 7-0 for the Fungo. We'll take a quick break before the third.
Ready to get back in the game? Great news! The movement experts at Breakthrough Physical Therapy can help athletes and their families find pain relief with lasting results to keep you off the sidelines. With over 20 convenient locations across North Carolina and South Carolina, contact Breakthrough today at breakthrough-pt.com to see a physical therapist. Breakthrough Physical Therapy, a trusted choice for keeping athletes and their fans in the game. PlumServe LLC technicians have over 20 years of experience in plumbing repair and services. They pride themselves in being a local, honest, and professional company. Let them give you a quote today on those needed upgrades in your home. Your choice for plumbing in Creedmoor, Oxford, Henderson, Durham, Raleigh, Chapel Hill, Cary, Apex, Stem, Garner, and the greater Triangle area. Visit their website today to schedule. You can contact them there as well. PlumServeLLC.com. Again, that's PlumServeLLC.com.
Audio Jungle.
Top half of the third inning inside JB Flaherty Park, a 7-0 lead for the Fungo over the Carolina Ducks. Josh Partosic alongside Trey Stein on nextdoorradio.com and the Wake Forest Fungo YouTube live stream. Ryder Chesky back out there on the mound, I should say, for the Fungo. And then I'll bring up Colin Jordan, the third baseman, for his first time up. But what do the Ducks need to do, Trey? Just get some sort of momentum, string something together, because they're in danger of a mercy rule right here.
Again, it's just a matter of they're putting the bat on the ball. It's just going like the very first batter in Skylar Dark lined it, was a hard hit off the bat, but directly at somebody. Now you just have to, in order, the next 2 were pop-ups. I mean, so you just got to be able to kind of put the ball in play. You know, that's cliche. But again, Ryder, Jessica, he's doing a great job. He's poised. He's throwing the fastball where he needs to be, and where Jordan is putting the glove. Elijah Jordan had to move.
Swing and miss, I should say, on the 0-1 pitch falling behind 0-2 is Colin Jordan. He hasn't batted in a hot minute. Last batted on June 16th. That was their 1 win of the season over the Reedsville Luckies, but he went 0 for 4, and he'll be 0 for 1 today after he swings through that pitch. So the first strikeout of the night, which is shocking to say for someone who's been as dominant as Jeske. But he gets his first strikeout, and I'll bring up Bryce Molitoris, who started the double play to end the scoring threat in the bottom half of the second.
Tall, a 6-footish.
6'6" is
Yeah.
Bryce Molitoris.
I mean, he's the tallest
first
second baseman I know.
He skies the first one he sees. Coming in to make the play will be the shortstop Boyles. He gets to it first. And 2 quick outs in the top half of this this third inning, I should say. And that brings up Owen Simmons, who's been on the mound, pitching, doing it all. Their own version of Shohei Ohtani, just obviously not as dominant so far, but I haven't seen him swing just yet. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, we had back this past Sunday, we had Dawson Smith from Wake Tech Community College who went a strong 5 innings, gave up a home run and a double in the first inning. We have Jeske looking to kind of match that or even better here today. So 2 young pitchers who are making a difference for the Fungo, and you need those young guys. Again, look, I'm 35. How old are you now?
19.
So young. Okay, I got you.
Little young.
But
that pitch could just go over the glove of Stallings at first and go down the line, and Williams going to try and turn it into 2, and he does so successfully.
Good throw.
Boyles can't make the play at second or short. So we talked a little bit about him being their own version of Shohei Ohtani. He has a double, first extra base hit of the day for the Ducks. And if you take away the blue pit and the walks, he wasn't pitching too terribly bad. So he has a chance to start something for these Ducks. As line rolls over, brings up Skylar Dark. And he'll look at a first pitch strike. Dark, like you said, hit the ball extremely hard, just happened to be right at Boyles at shortstop. In his first time up. 0-1 pitch. Kind of checks his swing, but they're going to say that he went around. So 0-2 with 2 going in the top half of this third inning. First runner in scoring position for the Ducks all game. That's Owen Simmons after he lined a double down the right field line. Jeske kicks and deals. That pitch just went low, or maybe, I don't know. It's tough to tell from this angle, but home plate umpire did not give the punch out sign.
Jeske wanted that one. He started shaking his head. He hadn't done much shaking tonight, but that was one of them.
That pitch low again. In a similar spot, just that one happened to be a breaking ball, so it counts even at 2 apiece.
Up 7-0 for the Fungo. You think that the pitcher would at least get those kind of calls.
Throws a fastball that Dark just gets a piece of. Stay alive in the count. And we've talked a lot about Skylar Dark, Guilford College commit. 1 for 4 in yesterday's contest against the Bogies. But how about his name? It's got to be one of the best names in all of baseball. Skylar Dark. I mean, you have to have some sort of swagger to you. If you got a name like that, and he's going to fly one into shallow left field. 3 players coming to make it, but getting to it first will be Boyles, the shortstop, to retire the threat. 1 hit, runner left on, no runs across for the Ducks in the top half of the third. We'll step aside before we go to the bottom half of the third.
Welcome to the town of Wake Forest, home of Fungo Baseball. We're glad you have joined us today in the Forest, and we're especially proud to have Mitchell Heating and Cooling as a sponsor and a supporter of Wake Forest Fungo Baseball. Mitchell Heating and Cooling's rich tradition is built on a reputation of quality, integrity, and a great value for the customer's dollar. For over 50 years, Mitchell Heating and Cooling has continuously met its customers' needs by maintaining, servicing, designing, and installing quality systems that will stand the test of time. Mitchell Heating and Cooling is a premier-level Trane comfort specialist that has been certified by Trane as having met Trane's stringent standards and is committed to being the best in every aspect of business. Reach out to us today at mitchellhvac.com for all your heating and cooling needs. Enjoy your day here in the Forest, and roll Fungo!
Ready to get back in the game? Great news. The movement experts at Breakthrough Physical Therapy can help athletes and their families find pain relief with lasting results to keep you off the sidelines. With over 20 convenient locations across North Carolina and South Carolina, contact Breakthrough today at breakthrough-pt.com to see a physical therapist. Breakthrough Physical Therapy, a trusted choice for keeping athletes and their fans in the game. Hey, we made it easy for you here on Nextdoor Radio and nextdoorradio.com. Available now by way of the Google and Apple Store is the Nextdoor Radio app. Anywhere you want to go, you can take Nextdoor with you. All the local talk programs, all local sports, and a great mix of 70s, 80s classic rock you can now take anywhere you want to go by download the Nextdoor Radio app today. Available Google and Apple Store.
Bottom half of the third inning inside JB Flaherty Park. Wake Forest Fungo up 7-0 already on the Carolina Ducks through 2.5 innings. Josh Bartosian alongside Trey Snide on nextdoorradio.com and the Wake Forest Fungo live stream. A little bit of confusion in the last inning. It appeared that Jack Boyles and Tommy Martinez switched positions. Tommy Martinez, wearing number 1 as he always had, was playing shortstop that inning, and it looked like Jack Boyles may have switched positions. He was in left field. Martinez was in left field, and then Boyles coming into shortstop. So instead of Boyles making all those defensive plays last inning, it was Martinez. We apologize for that confusion, but we'll have to see. Maybe things continue to get switched around, up 7-0 early in this game, trying to see what goes on the defensive side, switch some things up and get some practice in before the next game on Saturday. That'll bring up Lawson Wheeler the second time up. His first time, Wheeler singled, got to second before the inning ended. And a look at a first pitch strike from Owen Simmons, who is still out there on the mound, and hit that screaming double down the right field line in his first at bat. Breaking ball outside for ball 1. Lawson Wheeler hitting .250 on the season, 7 RBIs. Did not play a single game for the Elon Phoenix this past season as he watches a pitch catch the outside corner. But he played 4 years under Ray Pope at Cary Academy and served as a team captain his final 2 years. Looks at a ball to even the count at 2 apiece. Owen Simmons dealing fast, and Wheeler will slap one on the ground towards first. Making the play and stepping on the bag will be Harrison, the first baseman. 1 quick out already in the bottom half of this third inning.
Now batting the DH, number 17, Austin Williams.
Brings up Austin Williams for the second time. He was hit by a pitch. One of 3 Fungo to be hit by a pitch in that first inning. And that was Rembach, that was Walt Rembach, who really struggled getting that 5-0 hole. First pitch from Simmons is going to be drilled foul just over the fence. So
Nice
Simmons
little,
working fast. Sorry.
No, that's all right. Nice little crowd here on a thirsty Thursday.
There's $2 beers at the JB Flaherty Park for the Wake Forest Fungo. That pitch on the outside corner. So already Williams down 0-2 in this count, and Simmons dealing very quickly already. That next pitch, check swing. They're going to say he went around. They're going to say he did not. As you saw, Martin apply the tag just to be safe.
At our local brewery, the Blackbird Brewery Company.
1-2 pitch high above the letters. 2-2 count now with 1 gone in the bottom half of this third inning. There's also, I believe, some Chick-fil-A in the area. It smells a little bit like chicken, which, always gets me hungry. I'm a big Chick-fil-A advocate myself. 2-2. And Williams will sky that one into shallow center field. 3 players coming into it. And it looks like it's going to be the shortstop Swankamp making a nice play over his shoulder to record the second out in the bottom half of the third inning.
Nice little play as there was the right fielder, center fielder, shortstop, and second baseman went out there to go retrieve that ball, which was hit right in the middle of the center field. So great stop or catch by the shortstop there to get there.
Paxton Tucker out in center had a slow read on it, which allowed Swankamp to get there. A very athletic play, and Jordan will smack the first pitch he sees. That ball's going to get right over the head, or not over the head. A great catch by Paxton Tucker. Slams into the wall in the process, but holds on to it. So Jordan got all of that one, but a very hard third out. For the first time tonight, the Wake Forest Fungo do not get a runner on base. We'll step aside before the top half of the fourth.
PlumServe LLC technicians have over 20 years of experience in plumbing repair and services. They pride themselves in being a local, honest, and professional company. Let them give you a quote today on those needed upgrades in your home. Your choice for plumbing in Creedmoor, Oxford, Henderson, Durham, Raleigh, Chapel Hill, Cary, Apex, Stem, Garner, and the greater Triangle area. Visit their website today to schedule. You can contact them there as well. PlumServeLLC.com. Again, that's PlumServeLLC.com. Unforgettaballs.com. 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 Now that I have your attention, I want to take a moment to tell you about Unforgettaballs.com. Unforgettaballs.com specializes in hand-painted baseballs for every baseball fan. They also create a customized coaster, bottle opener, and so much more. Visit their website today at unforgettaballs.com and follow them on all of their social media outlets today. That's unforgettaballs.com. Hey, we made it easy for you here on Next Door Radio and nextdoorradio.com. Available now by way of the Google and Apple Store is the Next Door Radio app. Anywhere you want to go, you can take Next Door with you. All the local talk programs, all local sports, and a great mix of 70s, 80s, classic rock, you can now take anywhere you want to go by download the Next Door Radio app today. Available Google and Apple stores.
Inside JB Flaherty Park, top half of the fourth inning. Josh Bartosik, Trey Snide, right here on nextdoorradio.com and the Wake Forest Fungo YouTube live stream. 7-0 your score through 3 innings. And the first pitch to Ian Martin, swing and a miss. Jeske still on the mound for the Fungo. If you look at Ian Martin, who, as I mentioned previously, went to Carlisle High School, hit .412 with 38 RBIs, and also had 14 stolen bases. He watches the second pitch strike, so already behind 0-2 in the count. As Ryder Jeske continues to work quickly through, just 2 hits allowed through 3 innings in this contest. As Martin's going to chop one on the ground towards second. Mito across his body, makes the play. A beautiful job to get the first out of the inning for the Fungo.
That you talking about Purdy?
We're talking about Purdy?
Purdy. He was able to roll him to his right towards the second baseman, or the second base, and be able to just kind of throw it on the top. Man, that was a great play.
An athletic play, if then. And for someone that just entered the transfer portal, that kind of play is going to catch the eye of some scouts defensively. And already having a pretty decent day at the plate. That brings up Joe Swankamp for his second time. Looks at a first pitch ball on the outside. Jeske winds, kicks, and fires, and gets Swankamp to swing right through that one, strike one.
Swinging for the fences there. He's almost swung out of his shoes.
Well, when you're down 7-0, maybe you do need to swing for the fences. But also, like you mentioned, just starts with 1 hit. So foul one down the left field line, 1-2 now. Yeah, Swankamp continuing to try and hit one 450 feet out towards center. 1-2 pitch from Jeske is going to get fouled off. Kind of catches Swankamp near the hands. And is able to just get a piece of it on the off-speed pitch.
Went out of play right over the press box. Was starting to do their renovations here in the press box. So if you ever come to Flaherty, of course, they have at the bottom of the stairway, you can see everything that they're going to be doing. It's phenomenal. Enhancing it.
Swankamp swings at a pitch in the dirt. That's the second strikeout of the night for Jeske. 2 gone in the top half of this fourth. That brings up Isaiah Hairston, who singled his first time out. Got the first hit of the day for the Ducks. They've already started a little bit here. You've got windows now in front of us. Makes it a little bit more difficult to see, but still able to do our job as the first pitch to Hairston is fouled off.
Once it's complete, it's going to be nice.
It's going to be very nice. Maybe the speakers won't be right next to us in the ears,
There
but
you go.
ear damage is only a myth and a concept, as a very old father of mine would say, who also has a little bit of issues with hearing loss, and that's he'll say it's from the rock concerts he went to as a kid,
or listening to you early in your days,
listening to me just whine and complain all the time right in his ear. I'm sure that's probably did not help either.
My 6-year-old, we've been at the lake all week, and so I've been back and forth, kind of preparing for these and work and things like that. And it only enhances when he wants to go to the boat or wants to go fishing, and he doesn't listen. And of course, you get upset. Don't let him do things. So hey, look, I've been there, still there.
No, he's at that age where his favorite word is no, right? At about 6 years old.
That's an understatement.
I know that my younger brother was like that. I'm sure I was. That 2-2 pitch from Jeske, swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for the recent graduate out of high school. And still 4 scoreless innings for the Fungo he has pitched. We'll be set aside for the bottom half of the fourth.
On behalf of everyone at Oliver's Towing, Towing for a Cure, in memory of Denise Ellis, Sandra Newton, along with all who have lost their battle, and in honor of all living survivors. 100% of all ticket sales and proceeds go to Pretty in Pink Foundation in Raleigh, North Carolina, on behalf of breast cancer awareness. The raffle tickets are for sale, $25 each, or 5 for $100. First place, custom wrap Snap-on toolbox, $2,500 value. Second, a Vase Texas Roadhouse gift card, that's $550 value. Third place, a Roku 55-inch TV, a $248 value. Fourth, breast cancer theme diecast NASCAR and gas card, that's a $90 value. Fifth place, Still Magnolias gift card, $50 value. Sixth place, Fishing Creek gift basket. Drawing will be held at the Boy GM on October 28th at 2 p.m. You do not have to be present to win. Again, 100% of all ticket sales and proceeds go to Pretty in Pink Foundation in Raleigh, North Carolina. For more information, you can contact 919-693-2520 for all purchases or questions. Pretty in Pink Foundation, sponsored by everyone at Oliver's Towing, Towing for a Cure, in memory of Denise Ellis, Sandra Newton, along with all who have lost their battle, and in honor of all living survivors. They are selling t-shirts and bracelets. T-shirts are starting at $12, depending on size, and bracelets are only $3 each. Towing for a Cure, Pretty in Pink Foundation, sponsored by everyone in Oliver's Towing. More information, 919-693-2520.
Audio Jungle.
Bottom half of the fourth inning, JB and Jeremy Flaherty Park. 7-0 your score in favor of the Wake Forest Fungo over the Carolina Ducks. Josh Bartosik alongside Trey Snide on Next Door Radio and the Wake Forest Fungo YouTube live stream. First pitch into Thomas Fox is a strike. Owen Simmons is still on the mound for the Ducks. And Thomas Fox up for the third time. He came around twice in the first inning. Got hit on the second pitch of the day, and then popped up to end the first inning.
You know, and Simmons has done a good job. Gave up 2 when coming in the bottom of the second after Walt Rimbach gave up 5 in the first. And he's done a good job to limiting the Fungo since coming in.
Talk a lot about that heater that he has. It has really seemed to struggle, or has caused struggle with these Fungo batters. That pitch on the outside corner evened it up at 2 apiece. And Simmons continuing to work fast, and he gets Fox to swing through that one. So, second strikeout of the day for Simmons to lead off the bottom half of this fourth.
Looked a little fooled on that breaking ball. Looking for a fastball there. And just kind of soft swung.
Simmons continuing to get better as the night progresses. Gave up the 2 runs. One of them really just a blue pit out into right field, and then the right fielder, Kubis, could not make the play. And his first pitch into Jack Boyles. originally playing shortstop tonight, now most likely in left field. We'll have to double check on that. Falls quickly behind, Simmons falls behind 2-0 on the count. And make that 3-0, so a 3-0 count to Jack Boyles, who doubled his first time up and walked in the second inning. That pitch catches the inside corner, 3-1.
For the end of the season, last year we had Jason Arndt come up and we had him mic'd up for the broadcast.
That pitch looked like it might have caught a little bit of the plate, but home umpire says no, that's the second walk of the day for Jack Boyles.
Before the end of the year, so last year we had, before he hit being mic'd up for the broadcast, they had him mic'd up as he hit a home run. Before the end of the season, we're going to be doing that here. I think that would be spark him a little bit, should you say?
Could certainly a little heighten the broadcast a little bit, some might say, and in a game like this where it's kind of slowed down after that early start, could be an interesting one. First pitch to Anthony Mita is a strike who struck out his first time.
So let us know by way of our social media, of course, go to Wake Forest Fungo on Facebook. Let us know who you would like to see mic'd up as you either on the field or at the batter's box hitting. That'd be great.
To be able to hit a home run while also talking on the broadcast is a very nice ability, as Mita's going to slap one up the middle, goes off the glove of the shortstop Swankamp, and it's going to just die in the shallow right field, and that's going to allow both to continue. And just like that, Jack Boyles is going to come around to score, because for some reason it looked like Swankamp just kind of was walking, and Boyles took advantage of it, caught the defense lacking, and that'll make it 8-0. So a wonky play all around, gets Mita to second and brings Boyles all the way around to score on just total miscommunication by the Ducks. That'll bring up Jackson Rutecki for the third time, who singled twice in the day's contest.
And Anthony Mita over there, the second baseman for the Fungo, on second right now. He's doing a lot we talked a little bit about in the first inning, doing a lot of dancing to kind of throw off after the foul ball.
They like to dance a little bit. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that last play. So for everyone that wasn't necessarily paying attention or understood what happened, Mita hits a ball right up the middle, goes off the glove of Swankamp. He jogs out in a second to get it as another swing and miss for Rutecki. And it allowed Mita to get the second because nobody was standing on second. Boyles moves over to third, and Boyles realized that Swankamp wasn't paying attention, just was holding the ball in his glove, did not get it back into the pitcher that allows play to stop. And he just easily came all the way around and just kind of walked home to make it 8-0. So another unforced error on the other side for the Ducks. And if you're Owen Simmons on the mound, you got to be a little disappointed. You've done virtually everything you can to keep this a close contest, but those guys out there in the field are not making it any easier. 3-2 count now to Rutecki. One gone, one already across, thanks to the very confusing play that started with an Anthony Mita single. Payoff pitch, low for ball 4. So runners on first and second. Then I'll bring up Will Hood for the third time.
Now batting the center fielder, number 20, Will Hood.
Already halfway through the lineup, the third time with the Will Hood. Center fielder has a walk, single. He has singled in a run. So now he's got runner in scoring position here first and second for an opportunity to drive in 2 more.
Will Hood hitting .294 in the season for the Fungo. He'll watch a first pitch ball. Alongside that near 300 average, 5 runs, 6 RBIs, a double, a triple, and a home run, along with 2 stolen bases. He's stolen a couple today already as well to add to that total. And next pitch catches the outside corner for strike 1.
And right down the heart of the plate for strike 1 there for Simmons.
Mita doing some dancing at second, and just like that, Will Hood's going to smack one deep into left center field. That'll get into the gap, and that will allow Mita to just kind of jog all the way in to score. Kind of conserving his energy. Didn't even really show any effort, but knew that ball couldn't get in. That makes it 9-0. And just like that, 1 run away from the dreadful mercy rule. Obviously, the Ducks will have to come around to bat again in the top half of the fifth.
Again, runner now once again for Hogan Stallings, first and second. As last time at bat, or the first time around, had bases loaded, had a sac fly, and then was one of those that loaded the bases with the walk. So he's anxious to get it hit right here to be able to drive in, especially to get to that 10-run mercy rule for the Fungo.
Would you call it a walk-off if it makes it a mercy rule?
All day.
Well, Stallings swinging for the fences, like you said, fouls the first pitch off that he sees. And I mean, I'm going to have to say the same thing. If I'm up there in the plate and I hit it's technically still a game-ending game. You walk it off, game's over afterwards, most likely. So would still, I think in his mind, I think in a lot of people's mind, would still count. Count now even at one apiece, or excuse me, it's actually 2-1 to Hogan Stallings, who, like you mentioned, hit a sacrifice fly, then walked. He's early on that pitch, fouls it down the right field line, evens the count up at 2 apiece.
And 1 out still here for Hogan Stallings. And again, he was almost hit by another hit by a pitch, and he just kind of shook his head, walked back, got himself together.
And that pitch bounces before it gets to the plate, so that'll make the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner on first and second. 2 runs across in this inning to make it 9-0 in favor of the Fungo. 1 away from the mercy rule margin. Stallings gets a piece of that one. Nice little breaking ball. Got a little out in front of it.
Just missed that one.
Stallings with that big 6'5", 250 frame. Plays at Lenore Ryan University. Looking to smack one out towards center. He pops that one up right behind the plate. Martin trying to find it behind the dish, and it goes off his glove, and he cannot make the catch. And if Stallings gets on base or scores a run, Martin might be thinking of that one.
That one kind of looked like it hurt Martin a little bit. He's telling him, looking to his dugout as it went behind him, and it might have pinched something in there in the back because he used that glove to kind of push on it a little bit.
Could have overextended his lat or oblique potentially. We'll have to make sure that he's still okay. 3-2 pitch once more, and another foul ball for Hogan Stallings, making Simmons work on the mound alongside so of the rest of the Fungo in a game that has been all offense for one team and all just meh for the other. That pitch is going to be fouled again, this time on the right side. He's early once more. Stays alive in the count, however.
But you got to be careful if that extends and gets worse as the game goes on. They've only got 12 players. He's the only catcher on this roster. So I don't know what they're going to do if he happens to go out.
To figure something out. The payoff pitch once more, another ball popped up, this time on the left field side in foul territory, but it's going to come foul. And
fair
just
ball.
like that, or fair ball, excuse me, that'll allow the runners to move forward on another interesting. This inning's been full of surprises. You had the walking home. You had a ball that started foul, went fair, bounced in, and now just like that, bases loaded. So what probably should have been the second out of the inning results in a single, or they're going to say it's foul.
Are they? Oh.
Apparently so. Even though you can kind of see.
If it bounces on the infield and goes foul, still a fair ball, right?
It wasn't busted back.
Oh, I got you. That makes sense.
That is true. It did not go behind. It did not go past the bag. Just a weird play. And Stallings on the 10th pitch of the at-bat. Wool chopping on the ground towards short. Stepping on second to make the force out is Swankamp, but cannot get over to first in time. So he gets 1 out. And allows.
I think.
Now batting the left fielder, number 1, Tommy Martinez.
Allows Tommy Martinez to come up. Runners on first and third. Tommy Martinez, his third time up, hit into a double play and got a sac fly in the first. And that will immediately end the inning. And I don't know exactly what happened. I was checking my note card, but they're going to end the inning on a
Wake Forest adds 2 in the bottom of the fourth.
interesting play. Not sure exactly what happened. I was updating my scoreboard. Perhaps they said that Hogan Stallings was out. I don't really know exactly what happened there. But that's going to end the fourth in probably the weirdest bottom half of the fourth inning you'll ever see. We'll be back for the top of the fifth in just a short moment.
Welcome to the town of Wake Forest, home of Fungo Baseball. We're glad you have joined us today in the Forest, and we are especially proud to have Mitchell Heating and Cooling as a sponsor and a supporter of Wake Forest Fungo Baseball. Mitchell Heating and Cooling's rich tradition is built on a reputation of quality, integrity, and a great value for the customer's dollar. For over 50 years, Mitchell Heating and Cooling has continuously met its customers' needs by maintaining, servicing, designing, and installing quality systems that will stand the test of time. Mitchell Heating and Cooling is a premier-level Trane comfort specialist that has been certified by Trane as having met Trane's stringent standards and is committed to being the best in every aspect of business. Reach out to us today at MitchellHVAC.com for all your heating and cooling needs. Enjoy your day here in the Forest and roll Fungo!
Ready to get back in the game? Great news. The movement experts at Breakthrough Physical Therapy can help athletes and their families find pain relief with lasting results to keep you off the sidelines. With over 20 convenient locations across North Carolina and South Carolina, contact Breakthrough today at breakthrough-pt.com to see a physical therapist. Breakthrough Physical Therapy, a trusted choice for keeping athletes and their fans in the game.
Audio Jungle.
Welcome back to Wake Forest Fungo Baseball here on Nextdoor Radio. NextdoorRadio.com, the Nextdoor Radio app. My name is Trey. Of course, he is Josh, play-by-play here tonight. Brand new pitcher here coming on for the Fungo, Houston Wills, number 14.
And we'll talk a little bit about Houston Wills a little bit. Out of Holly Springs, North Carolina, he is uncommitted right now. Last outing was June 14th against the Clayton Clovers. Went 2 innings, gave up 1 hit, 3 runs, 5 walks, and 2 strikeouts. He'll first face Paxton Tucker, and he'll bounce the first pitch in to Tucker, who is up for the second time. He had to do a double play back in the second inning.
So it looks like Dawson Smith still holds the longest outing for a Fungo player here this year. Again, Jeske had an opportunity to extend that. Gave up no runs, only 2 hits, 2 Ks, and a couple walks to his name here in 4 innings, 4 complete innings for Jeske.
He was absolutely dealing, but a deserved rest in a game that right now seems a little bit out of hand. If you were the visiting Ducks team, still trying to get something across. In this top half of the fifth, no mercy rule yet.
Pitch.
As next pitch right down the middle, 4 strike 1. Wills gets his first strike. Paxton Tucker went to Magna Vista High School, hit .304, 13 RBIs, and 20 stolen bases. As he fouls the next pitch he sees, evens the count up, or moves the count to 3-2, for a full count.
He's got the old-fashioned, no gloves, put some dirt on his hands.
A lot of interesting characters on the Ducks team. You got Skylar Dark with one of the best names, some old-fashioned guys. And that'll be a walk to Tucker as the pitches that missed for Wills missed badly. And that's the first walk issued on the day by the Wake Forest Fungo pitching staff. Brings up Connor Kubis, who grounded out to second his first time up. Kubis went 1 for 4 in Wednesday's contest against the Bogies with a strikeout and 2 walks, and that pitch gets behind Jordan behind the bat or behind home plate and will allow the runner Tucker to move up to second. So the change of pitchers has worked in the opposite favor of the Fungo so far. There's a 1-0 count, and the next pitcher will get behind him again, but this time Tucker will stay at second. So Houston Wills already struggling early on. And it looks like Jake Jones is going to have a little conversation with his new pitcher. They're taking out Jeske who threw 4 shutout innings with just 2 hits against, like you mentioned. And it looks like the Fungo don't want to give up any runs. Trying keeping this in a potential mercy rule scenario. We saw it the last time these two teams played back here, way back at the beginning of the month in the, what did they call it, the Battle in the Forest?
I think so.
Face Off in the Forest, whatever they called it. It was that 3-game doubleheader thing. You had the Catawba
Awesome.
Valley Stars come in. They beat the Ducks very handily, and then the Ducks later that day played the Fungo, and they played both games with just 12 players and got mercy ruled in that one.
The roster itself is different compared to what we saw that first game. So this is kind of there's 3 or 4 players that played in that game, and so you don't know this team. Really, these two teams haven't really played each other because they're not the same people.
This team is kind of like a mystery every time, kind of like a random name generator that will pop it out whenever they give us the lineup card. And a 4-pitch walk going to be issued by Houston Will. So 2 walks to start his outing in relief. Brings up Colin Jordan, who struck out swinging his first time up back in the 3rd.
So Will's missing, looks like rushing his release point and missing everything on the outside. So just calming down, controlling, thinking about where you're, once again, it's pass ball.
And another wild pitch, which allows the runners to move up to 2nd and 3rd. And this is just a absolutely disastrous start for Houston Wills on the mound. Just thrown at 2 strikes so far, and every single ball that he's thrown has been either bounced on the plate or gotten behind the backstop. Now the Ducks are in prime position to get their first run of the outing. That pitch is to be fouled off.
You see what he did there? He slowed down his movement from throwing to the catcher, and so right across the plate. So you're just controlling what you're doing, slowing down.
Another pitch fouled off by Jordan. Makes the count 1-2. Jordan uncommitted out of Summerfield, North Carolina. Hit .339 with 19 RBIs in his 3 seasons at Cornerstone Charter Academy. He'll slap one on the ground towards short. Tough play for Martinez. He'll make it easily over to Stallings at first to record the first out of the inning, but not before the Ducks get their first run of the game. So a sac ground out, an RBI ground out makes it 9-1, and they finally cut into the lead. Do the Ducks. That'll bring up Bryce Molitoris, who popped up to short his first time up. He'll foul the first pitch he sees way down the left field line.
In the 6'6" second baseman, one of the largest that you'll see in the game. Little Troy Tulowitzki from Colorado back in the days.
Wills' next pitch outside for ball 1. He was a guy, Troy Tulowitzki, who I think was very underrated during his time in the major leagues. He played on a Colorado team that was never great. Yep. But if he was on any other team, he probably would have been one of the best name-recognizable shortstops in the game. It was always fun to watch. He had a couple of all-star games. I think he won a Gold Glove or 2.
Well, he just couldn't stay healthy. Once Toronto traded for him from Colorado, I think he played 30-plus games with Toronto, and then we never saw him again. That was it.
Toronto is a place where wherever people get traded to, they normally don't end up being. R.A. Dickey's another one. The only one that's really worked out for them, or actually didn't even really work out for them, Robbie Ray was a guy that traded from the Blue Jays to the Mariners, and he had a phenomenal season last year.
Another name, Josh Donaldson was traded from Oakland to Toronto, had a good couple seasons. Another walk for Wills. That's his 3rd of the inning.
3 walks for Wills. Brings up Owen Simmons, who has the only extra base hit of the night. Still pitching as well for the Ducks. We mentioned earlier their own version of Shohei Ohtani, almost in a joke, and then he proceeded to hit the only extra base hit. Has a chance to bring in another run, but Wills will throw another wild first pitch ball. All have been on the outside, just no control right now for the soon-to-be freshman uncommitted. And the next pitch is going to throw. Next pitch will be outside for a ball, and he throws it down to first to try and get Molitoris lacking. But he gets back in safely. So 2-0 count to the 9-hole hitter, Owen Simmons. Gets in the swing right through that fastball, 2-1.
Yeah, much better movement there for Wills. Just a matter of slowing down and figuring out, do what you're supposed to be doing.
The 3-1 pitch from Wills is High 4, ball 4. So another walk issued by Houston Wills. That'll load the bases with just one out and brings up the top of the lineup into Skylar Dark, who's 0 for 2 on the day.
Skylar Dark.
Talked a lot about his name just being, well, I mean, it is a pretty decent name. That's another ball from Wills. So Wills still struggling to find the strike zone in this contest. But he gets Dark to foul that one off. He evens the count at 1 apiece. 9-1 your score in favor of the Wake Forest Fungo. The Ducks just got their first runner cross earlier in this inning and are looking to make a little more damage, just one away with the bases loaded. That pitch high and inside, ball 2.
Yeah, he's looking better. I mean, he looks like he's more controlling. He's a little bit more poised, a little bit more calmed down. And just another young pitcher about this with this Fungo staff. So got it now 2-2, 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Already one run across.
Wills gets Dark to foul that one off the edge of his bat. Evens count at 2 apiece. A crucial out potentially here for the Wake Forest Fungo. Still just one gone in the top half of this 5th inning. Looking to keep the lead at 8 and potentially add on to a mercy roll. That pitch will get behind the catcher in Jordan. That will allow a run to score. That will most likely go down as a passed ball by the catcher. Makes it 9-2 and both runners advance. That makes it 9-2. Full count. Dark still at the plate. Runners on second and third. Payoff pitch. Outside ball 4. Bases loaded again. With still just one gone in the top half of this 5th.
And that's the 5th walk?
Now batting the catcher, number 8.
The 5th walk of the inning, like you said. So technically no earned runs yet across 4. Looks like we're going to get another mound visit by Jake Jones.
We got somebody warming up in the bullpen, so it looks like, and Coach Jones is going to take the ball from him. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. More Wake Forest Fungo baseball next on Next Door Radio.
Welcome to the town of Wake Forest, home of Fungo baseball. We're glad you have joined us today in the Forest, and we are especially proud to have Mitchell Heating and Cooling as a sponsor and a supporter of Wake Forest Fungo baseball. Mitchell Heating and Cooling's rich tradition is built on a reputation of quality, integrity, and a great value for the customer's dollar. For over 50 years, Mitchell Heating and Cooling has continuously met its customers' needs by maintaining, servicing, designing, and installing quality systems that will stand the test of time. Mitchell Heating and Cooling is a premier-level Trane comfort specialist that has been certified by Trane as having met Trane's stringent standards and is committed to being the best in every aspect of business. Reach out to us today at MitchellHVAC.com for all your heating and cooling needs. Enjoy your day here in the Forest and roll Fungo!
Ready to get back in the game? Great news! The movement experts at Breakthrough Physical Therapy can help athletes and their families find pain relief with lasting results to keep you off the sidelines. With over 20 convenient locations across North Carolina and South Carolina, contact Breakthrough today at breakthrough-pt.com to see a physical therapist. Breakthrough Physical Therapy, a trusted choice for keeping athletes and their fans in the game. Hey, we made it easy for you here on Next Door Radio and nextdoorradio.com. Available now by way of the Google and Apple Store is the Next Door Radio app. Anywhere you want to go, you can take Next Door with you. All the local talk programs, all local sports, and a great mix of 70s, 80s, classic rock, you can now take anywhere you want to go by download the Next Door Radio app today. Available Google and Apple stores.
Back inside J.B. Flaherty Park, new pitcher on the mound for the Wake Forest Fungo. That's Josh Plisco. Out of Morehead City, North Carolina, committed at Bluefield State at a 3.72 ERA with Big Blue. In the first pitch that he throws into the next batter, Ian Martin, is a strike. He's a 4.40 ERA on the season for the Fungo. 14.1 innings pitched, 6 walks, and 17 strikeouts, and he gets Martin to foul that pitch off 0-2.
Getting a good fastball, good to great fastball for Plesko. So watch for him to use that here tonight. Again, ours got 2 strikes on Martin.
The 0-2 pitch from Plesko, just outside for ball 1.
Just missed it.
Plesko's last time out was Saturday against the Fuquay Arena Twins. Went 1 inning, 3 hits, 3 runs. None of them earned, had a walk and a strikeout. He's looking to get out of the jam that Houston Wills put him in. Count even at 2 apiece after the high fastball.
Again, a game that Houston Wills, who gave up 5 walks, for a game that he's going to go home, forget about it, come back, be ready to roll here next week.
Let's go. Kicks and fires on the 2-2, and he gets Martin to foul another pitch off. Martin 0 for 2 on the day.
Swung at a ball there.
Pitch was way outside, able to just get a piece of it. He grounded out to second twice in this contest, looking to change his fortune, bring home some more runs for the Ducks. Swing and a miss, a beautiful breaking ball. And second out of the game. First strikeout for Plesko, second out of this 5th inning. And now 1 out away from limiting the damage to just 2.
Man,
as Joe Swankamp comes up for the 3rd time.
Made Ian Martin look silly. Ball was already in the glove before he swung.
Joe Swankamp also 0-2 on the day. He looks at the first pitch ball inside. Swankamp popped up to 3rd his first time up, then struck out swinging back in the 4th. Runners still at every base, 2 already across, and he'll smack that ball foul down the first base side. Count even at 1 apiece. Plesko, before going to Bluefield State, went to Wake Tech Community College, had a 9.19 ERA, 14 strikes in 2021, then had massive improvement with the Big Blue this past season. 1-1 pitch, inside ball 2. So Swankamp so far a good eye in this at bat. Trying to bring home the 3rd run of the day for the Ducks. In their best inning so far, Swankamp's going to foul that one this time down the left field line. Count evens back up once more at 2 apiece.
And 2-2, 2 outs, already 2 across. With bases loaded, again, 1 more pitch to limit the damage. And all 3 of these runs would be credited to Houston Wills.
2-2 pitch from Plesko, outside ball 3. That'll make it a full count. And so you have to assume that he's going to throw a strike no matter what with the bases loaded. Don't want to walk in a run. We've already done that once this inning. Plesko versus Swankamp. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him, and the bases stay loaded. Just limits the damage to 2 runs, but that makes it 9-2, and we'll play in the bottom half of the 5th right here on Next Door Radio.
Unforgettaballs.com. 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 Now that I have your attention, I want to take a moment to tell you about Unforgettaballs.com. Unforgettaballs.com specializes in hand-painted baseballs for every baseball fan. They also create a customized coaster, bottle opener, and so much more. Visit their website today at unforgettaballs.com and follow them on all of their social media outlets today. That's unforgettaballs.com.
When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect restaurant or the right clothes. It also feels really good making the right insurance decision. That's where State Farm agent Margie White can help. Stop in at 234 Raleigh Road in Henderson and let her help you select the right protection at the right price. State Farm agent Margie White will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you know what to expect when the unexpected happens. Stop by and visit today at 234 Raleigh Road or give her a call at 252-598-0163. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, we made it easy for you here on Next Door Radio and nextdoorradio.com. Available now by way of the Google and Apple Store is the Next Door Radio app. Anywhere you want to go, you can take Next Door with you. All the local talk programs, all local sports, and a great mix of 70s, 80s, classic rock, you can now take anywhere you want to go by download the Next Door Radio app today. Available Google and Apple stores.
Bottom half of the fifth inning here at JB Flaherty Park. Josh Bartoza joined alongside Trey Snide here on nextdoorradio.com and the Wake Forest Fungo live stream on YouTube. Lawson Wheeler up to the dish for the Wake Forest Fungo, his third time up, singled and grounded out in his 2 times up. New pitcher on the mound for the Ducks, that's the left-hander Trey Sauls. At a High Point, North Carolina, goes to Mid-Atlantic Christian Academy. We'll take a little look at him. No pitching stats for the Ducks this season, but with the Mustangs, had a 14.14 ERA in 6 appearances, 11 earned runs, 9 walks, 9 strikeouts, and the hitters were batting almost 400 against him at 378.
You talk about, so we had a basketball player where I coached down at Crossroad Christian there in Vance County, and who went play basketball mid-Atlantic, and it's just a beautiful, right on the water. It's a beautiful Christian university, so he picked a good one to go to. That's for sure.
Beautiful campus. That first pitch that he pitches is well high. Went to Cornerstone Charter High School at 2.01 ERA with 37 strikeouts. And the next pitch is going to be smacked on the ground towards Lawson Wheeler, diving on the ground to make the play a swan camp, but he can't get over to first in time. Wheeler beats out the throw and gets an infield single.
I stopped there, shortstop,
Number 17, Austin.
for Swan Camp, but doesn't just have the arm, unfortunately, to get out a speedster for the Fungo.
That'll bring up Austin Williams for the third time up, hit by a pitch and flied out his 2 times to the plate. First pitch in from Saul's high, ball 1.
Fungo right here are looking to end this ball game. 10-run rule after 5. It's 9-2. Single from Wheeler. Now Williams looks to get it going.
Check swing could not hold back. Count evens up at 1 apiece. Now this would technically be considered a walk-off because if they get the 10-run rule, the game ends. No at-bats for the Ducks, or at least that's what we were under the impression would happen if it becomes a 12-2 game. Austin Williams out of Methodist University. Pops the next pitch he sees behind the backstop for strike 2. Just 1 at-bat for the Monarchs this past season. He pinch run and scored on March 14th at Guilford, which is where a lot of these players on both sides have come from or are committed to. The next pitch is high for ball 2, evens the count at 2 apiece.
Most of these guys from the Ducks are from Greensboro.
A lot of Greensboro area guys. A lot of guys went to Guilford, some D2 schools. A lot of them still in high school. Like we said, Wheeler goes on the next pitch. Throw down from Martin. It's going to be just in time. Got him on the arm as he was sliding in. And that's the first out of the inning on the base paths.
I'm not sure that's correct. I'm not sure that was. Looked like his feet were already slid past his glove. I'm pretty sure he got that one wrong.
Potentially got that one wrong, but there are no replay reviews here at Flaherty Park. As Wheeler fouls the next pitch off, stays alive in the count.
Unfortunately, like you meant, there is no replay, but I'm telling you, one day I'm going to bring a big old TV with a video camera, and we're going to make it happen.
I mean, there's just so much
I'm just
space
saying.
up here in
That's
this press box already that we have.
Yeah.
And the next pitch low, 4-4. So
It's
first
coming.
runner gets out on the base pass, and then
Number 39, Elijah
Austin
Jordan.
Williams just gets it right back with the walk. That'll bring up Elijah Jordan. Elijah Jordan hit by a pitch in the first inning and then lined out to center field on a play that looked like Tucker wasn't going to keep the ball in his glove as he crashed into the wall. Looks at a first pitch ball high and inside. This is one of the few lefty v lefty matchups we'll see when Trace Halls is on the mound. It's always the toughest one as a hitter, trying to see that ball as an error, and that'll allow both runners to be safe. Now, man on first and second, and the lineup rolls over for Thomas Fox.
I'm going to put that as a single, at least for right now.
Just kind of a half-hearted swing, and it
Kind of
found enough oomph to get all the way up. And first pitch to Thomas Fox is very high, and a good job behind the dish by Martin to keep both runners from advancing. 1-0 pitch to Thomas Fox, high again, 2-0.
That last up the middle play from the shortstop and second baseman, and I think just a bad communication by their part. A lot closer, obviously, was Malatunis, but it went.
Fox fouls that next pitch off.
But again, the shortstop had a huge range to get over there and didn't have enough time. He doesn't have the best arm anyway, so I'm not sure he would be able to get him after that. But in those situations, as a second baseman, call off that guy.
Communication is key in the infield. Another pitch that is high, and that's going to get away from the catcher. He still doesn't know where it is, and both runners will be able to walk their way to second and third. That'll go down as another pass ball for Martin behind the plate.
So you got Williams and Jordan in scoring position with one out. 3-1 is your count, and Thomas Fox already hit by a pitch, fly out, and a strikeout.
The Lewis University player transferred from Camp Community College before going to Lewis. 3-1 pitch on the outside corner. Fox started walking his way towards
Fox
first.
didn't like it. He's asking us, how far was that off? Wow.
So another full count. Runners on second and third. Wake Forest needs 3 runs to end the game on the mercy rule. And Trey Sauls hits down. That one goes off the glove of the second baseman, and he just can't. He'll have to eat it. It was a slow roller, or a hard hit roller, I should say, over to second at Molatoris. And he fails to make the play. That one will certainly be scored as an error and brings home a run. So back-to-back errors, and now it's 10-2. I'll bring up Jack Boyles, who is technically 1 for 1 on the day. He has 2 walks. He looks at a first pitch inside for ball 1.
That up the middle tantrum from the Carolina Ducks are struggling.
Having a tough day.
They're struggling.
Molatoris and Swancamp not having the best of days. That next pitch catches the outside corner, strike 1.
That was a slow fastball. Didn't have much movement on that. 10-2 already run across here in the bottom of the 5th.
A ball hit into the gap could end this game with the speed Fox displays at first base. The next pitch high inside for ball 2.
We've seen it. We've seen it happen.
Jack Boyles 2 for 3 with 2 runs and an RBI in yesterday's contest against the Gliders.
That's it.
And he'll chop one over. Diving play by Swancamp, but he keeps it in his glove to keep the runners there. That one nearly got up the middle for an RBI single, but instead it's the second out of the inning.
What a play. Again, we don't get to say much good things about what's going on in the short and second, but that one right there went all out. Saved a run.
Saved the run for sure. Potentially saving the game based on what could have happened afterwards. But that'll bring up Anthony Mita. 1 for 2 on the day, walked in the first, and had probably the weirdest double we've ever seen that had a lot of miscommunication that started from those middle infielders that we've talked a lot about.
It's going to end it right here. A little 3-run blast.
Mita looks at a second pitch strike, count even at 1 apiece. And he yet to hit a home run for the Fungo this season. Has 3 RBIs to his name and 7 runs scored. Has not been known for his power, and that pitch bounces before it gets to him at the plate, 2-1.
It is the perfect opportunity for him right here. Walk-off home run, 3-run jack. Let's roll.
Lefty v lefty too, which is never an easy feat. 2-1 pitch from Sauls is high for ball 3. And Mita doing what he does best, waiting until he gets a pitch that he likes to see. A 3-1 count.
He can get on Jackson. Techie comes up with 2 singles, already 3 runs batted in, and a walk.
And that's another walk. So bases are loaded, just like you mentioned, Jackson Rutecki, who we thought when they thought the game was going to end back way in the 2nd or 3rd inning, he was our Mitchell Heating and Cooling player of the game. And a single at the middle pretty much makes it that. And he ends the game. Could end with 5 RBIs. You already mentioned he's got 2 singles with some RBIs and a walk. That first pitch high for ball 1. So more struggling from Sauls, who is doing pretty solid to start this inning, and then a couple of errors by the middle infielders, I should say, kept the inning alive. Then next pitch on the outside corner.
Don't help him.
Strike 1.
Don't help him.
Bases loaded, 10-2 your score, bottom of the 5th. And that pitch low, good eye by Rutecki. Gets ahead in the count 2-1.
The same pitch as the first strike.
2-1 pitch from Sauls. Outside ball 3. And now a 3-1 count to Rutecki. You certainly don't want to walk in a run, because then one more ends the contest. 3-1 pitch, that one's outside, and he did indeed walk him. That'll bring home a run. And now Wake Forest, any sort of on base by any means, is it that ends the game. As it's now 11-2.
You got Will Hood coming up, a couple singles to his name, a walk, and a run batted in. And like you just said, any way of getting on base ends this ball game. 11-2, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. And Will Hood with the coaching mound visit for the Carolina Ducks. Again, Trey Sauls from Mid-Atlantic. And again, historically, we talked about it every broadcast. When there is a coaching visit, that next batter, unfortunately, or next batter for the pitcher, it usually goes in the pitcher's direction. So, see if we can change that philosophy right here. One, either jack, little 4-run home run, little grand slam action.
Grand slam. It would end the trend and would also end the game. That first pitch low for ball 1.
Saved a run. Good stop by Martin. He's been all over the place back there. These pitchers aren't helping him.
11-2, 1-0 the count from Sauls. That pitch outside ball 2. A reminder that this game would end if any sort of run came across the score. There's a 10-run mercy rule inning if you're up by 10 runs after 5 innings. The game is officially ended. 2-0 pitch right down the middle, strike 1. Or never mind. Looks like the
3-0.
Oh, look at that pitch was right down the middle. And that was probably the clearest strike of the day, but no doing it. That's ball 4. So a walk-off walk, probably a very anticlimactic way to end the contest. Or it looks like they might do it in the sense of
they're not ending the game.
So it might have to. Just kidding.
Hogan Stallings.
Well, I'll bring up Hogan Stallings. I do believe that they'll most likely give the Ducks one more at-bat to try and get back. As technically it is how the mercy rule normally works. So apologies on our end, but technically the Ducks do have to get their chance to get their runs back, as they weren't down by 10 before this inning started.
Again, Hogan Stallings comes up to bat once again with the bases loaded. He had bases loaded in the bottom half of the first when we scored 5 runs for the Fungo. Had 2 runners on his last at bat, and here another bases loaded opportunity. He did have a sack fly back in the first.
2-0 the count to Hogan Stallings. Now make that a 3-0 count. Saul struggling to find the strike zone. And this would technically go down as an insurance run for the Fungo, because then the Ducks need to score 2 in the top half of the 6th to keep the game alive. And Stallings is going to pop that one up down the first base side and is going to go just foul over the fence. Count 3-1.
This is when we say anybody that's due. Hogan Stallings, who has been the hottest hitter here on the Fungo, especially the beginning of the year.
He's been anxious to get one all game.
He wants it.
Not liked getting the walk and the sacrifice fly. And he smacks that one deep out towards center field. Getting back on is Paxton Tucker at the wall. He makes the catch and dives into the wall. Second good catch from Tucker in this game. Keeps it a 10-run game. But the final 3 at-bats most likely coming up for the Ducks unless they find a way to score. We'll take a quick break before we come back for the top half of the 6th.
Audio Jungle.
On behalf of everyone at Oliver's Towing for a Cure, in memory of Denise Ellis, Sandra Newton, along with all who have lost their battle and in honor of all living survivors. 100% of all ticket sales and proceeds go to Pretty in Pink Foundation in Raleigh, North Carolina on behalf of breast cancer awareness. The raffle tickets are for sale, $25 each or 5 for $100. First place, custom wrap snap-on toolbox, $2,500 value. Second, a Vase Texas Roadhouse gift card, that's $550 value. Third place, a Roku 55-inch TV, a $248 value. Fourth, breast cancer theme diecast NASCAR and gas card. That's a $90 value. Fifth place, Still Magnolias gift card, $50 value. Sixth place, Fishing Creek gift basket. Drawing will be held at the Boyd GM on October 28th at 2 p.m. You do not have to be present to win. Again, 100% of all ticket sales and proceeds go to Pretty in Pink Foundation in Raleigh, North Carolina. For more information, you can contact 919-693-2520 for all purchases or questions. Pretty in Pink Foundation, sponsored by everyone at Oliver's Towing for a Cure, in memory of Denise Ellis, Sandra Newton, along with all who have lost their battle and in honor of all living survivors. They are selling t-shirts and bracelets. T-shirts.
Back inside JB Foley Park for the top half of the 6th inning. Not exactly sure if we're doing Mercy Rule or what exactly is going on here. It's 12-2 your score. And that pitch going to be skied into shallow left field. Coming on to make the play will be Boyles. Or excuse me, that is not. Now we're playing a different. A lot of different defensive plays. Looks like that might be Anthony Mita out there in left field now. Jack Boyle is now at second and Tommy Martinez at short. So Mita makes the play in left field for the first out. And that will bring up, for the second at-bat of this inning, bring up Paxton Tucker.
Pitch. Oh, just missed. Yeah, they didn't have much faith in Harrison at last bat as playing extremely short there in the outfield.
1-0 count right now, or 2-0 count, excuse me, to Tucker. Just confused on how exactly this game will go down. Not sure if we're doing the whole 9 innings or if they're going to call it after this top half. So it looks like we're getting word now that the Mercy Rule is 10 after 7 if it's not 10 after 5.
Oh.
So should be little bit more baseball here. Again, very confusing. This.
Ooh, they called a strike on him. Had to make him back up. Hospitality at its finest. I don't know about other GMs. We got the best in the game.
an ice cold water on a very humid Thursday night. As Tucker fouls another one off to make it a 3-2 count. 12-2 the score. I think the Mercer rule now is after 7 innings.
There you go.
Originally was 5, and everything changes on the fly, the Wake Forest Fungo. But they still have a 10-run lead, and Plisco's still out there on the mound. And his payoff pitch with one gone is get fouled down the left field line. So Tucker stays alive in the count.
Tucker, they call him Big Country, his little nickname. Big Country, the head coach told us here this afternoon.
Paxton Tucker, that old-fashioned
That's
look
right.
without the batting gloves. Another payoff pitch coming from Plisco. That one high. We're just kidding. That will be ball 3.
Reminds me of Will Myers, who's now on Cincinnati, whose Cincinnati Reds are having a #1 in the Central there.
Well, they're on that 12-game win streak. They were playing incredible. All thanks, a lot of it in big part to Ellie De La Cruz, who probably one of the most fascinating baseball prospects to watch, as Plisco gets a swing and a miss from Tucker to get the second out of the inning.
Batting number 6, Connor Kubis.
And that's Plisco's 3rd strikeout of the contest. And that brings up Connor Kubis, who is 0 for 1. He walked his last time up. A chance for the Fungo to get a 1-2-3 inning after giving up 2 in the 5th. That first pitch outside for ball 1. Going back to the Cincinnati Reds, I mean, Ellie De La Cruz, just hit for the cycle a couple nights ago,
Against the Braves.
has had multiple infield singles on routine plays because he's just that fast. And then you have to factor in the fact that Joey Votto finally came back from injury and started playing very well, and they have a very young pitching core. Hunter Green's one of those guys. They have a really good bullpen, and the NL Central is just a wonky division. Seemingly the Cardinals, everyone thought were going to be very good. They're near the bottom. The Pirates started off great. They're not as great anymore, but they're calling up a lot of their young talent as well. The Cubs are always kind of a midfield pack team, and then the Brewers, who always have great pitching and just can never bat. And it looks like right now the Reds have the chance to kind of walk away with it after having one of the worst seasons that they've ever had. And on a 3-0 count, Plisco gets the first strike of the at-bat to Connor Kubis. But the Reds are certainly a fun team to watch. There's a couple other ones out there. The Rays are always a fun team with their kind of moneyball tactic, and they're playing great right now. Another swing and a miss. Kubis now in a full count with 2 gone in the top half of the 6th.
It's kind of wide open. You got the Braves, of course, in the East. The Mets, who spent billions of dollars to get where they are.
One of the worst records in baseball now. That'll be the payoff pitch is in the dirt for ball 4. So 2-out walk issued to Connor Kubis. That'll bring up Colin Jordan, who himself was also 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out in his 2 at-bats.
So back-to-back walks for Connor Kubis. And then, of course, Colin Jordan up the bat. Turn that on. Please and thank you.
First pitch inside, ball 1 from Plisco to Jordan. You talk about the NL itself is a very wide open. You have the Braves. You have a couple other teams. The Marlins at one point were very, very good in that
Not that one.
division as well. The Mets obviously not playing great. And then the AL itself is also a very interesting division. Obviously, the AL Central, I think every team in that division is below 500. So a below 500 team is on pace to make the playoffs again at that division. That pitch going to be lined on a string to left in a diving play, but Mita cannot make the catch. That will allow the runner from first to move all the way up to third. Ball in and out of the glove of Mita after a slow reactionary play. Now runners on first and third.
Number 15, Bryce Molitor.
Brings up Bryce Molitoris.
Got Kubis, who has a great, extremely fast. His speed was able to go from first to third on a fly ball that Mita dove for, went out for it, and dropped right in front of his glove.
Runners on first and third, no outs, or 2 outs, excuse me. Brings up Bryce Molitoris, who check swings and went all the way around for a strike 1. Molitoris popped up his first time out, then walked in the last inning. One of 5 walks issued by Houston Wills in that inning, allowed 2 runs to come across to score as Molitor swings and misses through the next pitch. 0-2.
Again, pushing it right past him. Really no chance so far. Molitunis. That's just fun to say.
It's a really fun name to say, Molitoris. Skylar Dark, Joe Swankamp, some really fun names on this Ducks team. And that 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, got him with the high fastball.
Made him be foolish.
2 runners left on, no runs across, a 10-run lead. We'll have to see what continues to happen in this game when we come back in the bottom half of the 6th.
Welcome to the town of Wake Forest, home of Fungo Baseball. We're glad you have joined us today in the Forest, and we are especially proud to have Mitchell Heating and Cooling as a sponsor and a supporter of Wake Forest Fungo Baseball. Mitchell Heating and Cooling's rich tradition is built on a reputation of quality, integrity, and a great value for the customer's dollar. For over 50 years, Mitchell Heating and Cooling has continuously met its customers' needs by maintaining, servicing, designing, and installing quality systems that will stand the test of time. Mitchell Heating and Cooling is a premier-level Trane comfort specialist that has been certified by Trane as having met Trane's stringent standards and is committed to being the best in every aspect of business. Reach out to us today at MitchellHVAC.com for all your heating and cooling needs. Enjoy your day here in the Forest, and roll Fungo!
Ready to get back in the game? Great news. The movement experts at Breakthrough Physical Therapy can help athletes and their families find pain relief with lasting results to keep you off the sidelines. With over 20 convenient locations across North Carolina and South Carolina, contact Breakthrough today at breakthrough-pt.com to see a physical therapist. Breakthrough Physical Therapy, a trusted choice for keeping athletes and their fans in the game. Hey, we made it easy for you here on Next Door Radio and nextdoorradio.com. Available now by way of the Google and Apple Store is the Next Door Radio app. Anywhere you want to go, you can take Next Door with you. All the local talk programs, all local sports, and a great mix of 70s, 80s classic rock you can now take anywhere you want to go by download the Next Door Radio app today. Available Google and Apple stores.
Back inside JB Flaherty Park, bottom half of the 6th inning. New pitcher on the mound for the strikeout, so didn't play a whole lot, but
Number 23, Joe Swankamp.
so with him coming into pitch, you have to think that the game is nearing its conclusion. We don't know exactly what's going to go. That'll bring up Tommy Martinez to lead off the bottom half of the 6th.
I'm interested to see how he does his pitching. Again, he did have the strongest arm, which you would think from a pitcher, from short to first. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does as a pitcher. This is the first time we've seen him pitch this year for us. Against us, should I say.
Tommy Martinez 0 for 2 has a sacrifice fly, and he pops the first pitch he sees and is not a fan of that one. That one in the shallow center field. The shortstop comes all the way over, and it drops. So Swankamp, who comes in the pitch, gets replaced at short by the former pitcher Owen Williams, who was the DH today. And Williams immediately makes an error on his first play. Interesting play because you would expect Molitor, sort of the right fielder, to call him off. But, however, Simmons came all the way across from short to try and make that play, just could not make the play.
Again, that's a coaching kind of moment for Malatonis there, the second baseman, who really hasn't had a good day at second for the Carolina Ducks. He's getting kind of pushed over, should you say. And that sounds bad. Let's be honest, that sounds bad. We had a couple opportunities to call people off, and he hasn't done it. Especially those two, the shortstop dropped them both. One of those situations, if you can do it, I can do it better. And both of the shortstops have had with all the new one there, shortstop for the Carolina Ducks. Both of them are struggling.
Middle infield has not been a strong suit for that team. And just like that, there goes the runner. And Lawson Wheeler swings the next pitch. That will have to force Martinez to move back to first. So lots of endurance conditioning for Martinez as he went on that pitch and then had to run straight back.
Number 41, Hunter Stone.
So Hunter Stone now coming into pinch hit for Austin Williams, who was the designated hitter. So Hunter Stone getting a chance now. Still a 12-2 game. Martinez still on first, and now he'll go again. And the throw bouncing in from Williams.
He's safe.
And he'll be safe. Looks like the second baseman, Mol Torres, could not corral the ball in his glove. So stolen base for Martinez. He did it again. This time does not have to run all the way back to first, however, so saves a little bit of his legs. So the 1-0 count now to Hunter Stone. Runner on second. One gone in the bottom half of the sixth inning. Hunter Stone swings right through that one, strike one. Just want to get with that slow wind up and another pop up. This time down the right field side and jumping over and making the play is the first baseman Hairston. And that's two gone now in the bottom half of the sixth.
Up to Jordan here, Elijah Jordan, to extend the inning. Nobody across here in the bottom half of the sixth. 2 outs.
2 outs. Martinez still on second. That'll bring up Elijah Jordan, who hit by a pitch his first time up and reached on an error in the last inning. And I'll look at a first pitch ball from Swancamp, who, out of the three pitchers we've seen today, has technically been the most effective. Hasn't given up a hit yet. Man reached on an error. The next pitch in for strike one. But originally it was the pitching that was the undoing for the Ducks, and then it was the fielding. And it's continued to be the fielding as that next breaking ball never caught any of the plate. 2-1. Because both relief pitchers for the Ducks have been decent enough, have been serviceable, just the middle infielders have not done them any justice as that next pitch inside for ball three. So 3-1 count now to the catcher, Elijah Jordan.
Yeah, you had Simmons, one ball who gave up 5 in the first, couldn't get out of the first. And then again, with Trey Sauls, you like what he saw, but he was just a little erratic. Didn't know what he was going to do. So, again, not the fastest pitcher here for Swancamp. Because we've seen the short throws from short for him. So he's getting it across. He's making it work. Right there was a walk. We got a person on first and second. Opportunity here to extend the lead.
That brings up Thomas Fox for the 5th time tonight. He'll look at a first pitch ball. 12-2 the score. Fourth one, like you mentioned, they had the 5 runs in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the fourth, and then the Ducks got 2 at the top of the 5th before the Fungo came back and scored 3, and Fox will sky that one down the first base side, but out of any playable area. So a 1-1 count to the leadoff batter for the Fungo. One pitch from Swancamp. Low for ball 2. So 2-1 count, runners on first and second. Over 2 hours of game time so far. Still looking to see what the end's going to be. And just like that, Thomas Fox lines a single up the middle. Tucker's going to try and catch the runner at home. A great throw, but it's over the head of Martin behind the plate. And that will allow both runners to advance. So 13-2. 13-2, a 2-out double brings home another run, makes it an 11-run game. A nice piece of hitting for Thomas Fox. I'll bring up Jack Boyles for the 5th time. He's 1 for 2 with 2 walks and a double. Looks at a first pitch strike. Jack Boyles on the 0-1 looks at a ball. One pitch from Swancamp could be popped in the air by Boyles into shallow right center field. Tucker calls
he
for
dropped it.
And he drops it. Another error. That will score a run. That might score 2. A play at the plate. He's in there, and that allows Boyles to move to second, but he's
way. He
out.
was standing. Woo-wee. He was standing on the bag.
Well, that makes
Wow.
it 15-2. Both runs will count. Before
Unbelievable.
Boyles was standing on the bag before
Golly.
he got tagged.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, we got that one wrong. All right, we'll be back. More Wake Forest Fungo Baseball. 15-2 is your score. Ready to get back in the game? Great news. The movement experts at Breakthrough Physical Therapy can help athletes and their families find pain relief with lasting results to keep you off the sidelines. With over 20 convenient locations across North Carolina and South Carolina, contact Breakthrough today at breakthrough-pt.com to see a physical therapist. Breakthrough Physical Therapy, a trusted choice for keeping athletes and their fans in the game. PlumServe LLC technicians have over 20 years of experience in plumbing repair and services. They pride themselves in being a local, honest, and professional company. Let them give you a quote today on those needed upgrades in your home. Your choice for plumbing in Creedmoor, Oxford, Henderson, Durham, Raleigh, Chapel Hill, Cary, Apex, Stem, Garner, and the greater Triangle area. Visit their website today to schedule. You can contact them there as well. PlumServeLLC.com. Again, that's PlumServeLLC.com. Hey, we made it easy for you here on Next Door Radio and NextDoorRadio.com. Available now by way of the Google and Apple Store is the Next Door Radio app. Anywhere you want to go, you can take Next Door with you. All the local talk programs, all local sports, and a great mix of 70s, 80s classic rock, you can now take anywhere you want to go by download the Next Door Radio app today. Available Google and Apple stores.
Audio Jungle.
Top half of the 7th, what we think is the final half inning if the score stays at a 10-run lead. It's 15-2 now for the Wake Forest Fungo, so most likely, yes. New pitcher for the Wake Forest Fungo. On our roster, that's Josh Ruck. It's not Josh Ruck. Josh Ruck has blonde hair. That is not him. We don't know exactly who that is. But Owen Simmons is up to bat for whoever this mystery pitcher is. We'll try and figure out who it is as soon as possible.
Inside pitch, ball number 1, 1-0. Top of the 7th, 15-2 is your score for the Fungo.
So we have confirmation that is the other guy that wears number 40. That's Griffin Dietner, who is yet to see any action today. So this is action this season. So Griffin Dietner, 2-0 count to the 9-hole hitter Owen Simmons. And he nearly hits him.
He's been inside for these first 2, even during warm-ups. Been throwing it high, throwing it in the inside of the plate. So little nerve going on. Much better pitch there to go 2-3-1.
Could say it looked very similar to Houston Will's time on the mound today with not a whole lot of control. Just tried to find it and just throws another pitch inside. So a 5-pitch walk to the 9-hole hitter Owen Simmons brings up Skylar Dark at the top of the order.
All righty. Didn't.
Skylar Dark comes up now. 0 for 2 on the day. He has a walk and then 2 ground outs. That first pitch bounces on its way to the plate. Gets right in front of. Good job to keep it in front of the plate by Elijah Jordan.
Got a live arm for number 42 for the Fungo. But a little erratic so far to this point.
1-0 pitch from Dietner. That pitch outside, ball 2. So looking similar to Houston Wills, like we already mentioned, with the inability to keep control. And I think for everybody in this ballpark right now, I think they'd like to see him find that control and send everybody home a little bit early with the sticky humidity in today's contest. That pitch bounces up, and a great job behind the dish by Elijah Jordan to keep the runner from advancing. But it's a 3-0 count now to the leadoff hitter Skylar Dark.
In 70 degrees here in the top half of the 7th, 15-2. Getting a little muggy, but a good crowd still remains here at Flaherty Park.
That pitch finds the outside corner. So another first 3 pitches balls, 4th pitch a strike. We'll see if he changes what he did in the first batter where he walked him on 5 pitches. As Dittner fires and deals and that pitch bounces, that makes it a ball 4. And 2 5-pitch walks in the same sort of pattern to start this 7th inning. And I'll bring up Ian Martin.
Have a coaching visit. Let's take a 10-second timeout. Tune in to Wake Forest Fungo Baseball. Next Door Radio.
Hey, we made it easy for you here on Next Door Radio and nextdoorradio.com. Available now by way of the Google and Apple Store is the Next Door Radio app. Anywhere you want to go, you can take Next Door with you. All the local talk programs, all local sports, and a great mix of 70s, 80s classic rock you can now take anywhere you want to go by download the Next Door Radio app today. Available Google and Apple stores.
Pitching mound visit over. Dittner still out there.
There you go.
The first pitch strike to Ian Martin, the third batter of this inning.
I had to figure out what Coach Jones says in these pitching visits or the mound visits because historically, we talked a little bit about it before. It's always been in the good way for the Fungo pitchers. Start a little rough, and then after that pitching or that mound visit, they kind of figure things out.
They always find a way, and they're going to find a way now. 1-1 count after the second pitch was very erratic, and the next pitch inside once more. Still, it's all in that release point, right? You're releasing too early, gets the pitch inside. You're just trying too hard to throw a strike.
Yep.
Again, it's not about thinking. You just pitch in baseball. It's very cliche, but it's the way it goes. That pitch right down the middle, strike 2. He has an incredible fastball in there, probably mid to upper 90s, probably lower to mid 90s. But it's the location that and the accuracy that's struggling right now. Just 1 strike away from the first out in what should be the final half inning, unless the Ducks find a way to score 4 runs. That pitch bounces in, so a full count, first full count of this inning for the new pitcher Griffin Dittner. That pitch going to be lined directly to the second baseman. That'll be a 4-6, not 3, not in time. They get the force out at second. Now runners on the corners.
And a ground ball here will allow the Fungo not only to end this ball game,
The pitcher, number 23, Joe Swankamp.
for Dentner to kind of finish strong here. In 1 out, top of the 7th, 15-2. We got 2 more outs. This ball game is over.
So that was Aiden Brown that was at second that made the original play. This defensive scheme for the Fungo has changed all game long. Let me bring up Joe Swankamp, who was on the mound this last half inning. He looks at the first pitch ball. Some news on Griffin Dintner from Apex, North Carolina. Not ranked by a perfect game. Is uncommitted himself. So ended up going to Brunswick Community College this past season. Had 1 appearance through a couple of pitches before taking on that pitch is going to get behind the backstop. Keeps Simmons at third, but allows allows Martin to move up to second on the wild pitch. So 2-0 count. And now 2 runners in scoring position. And that gets rid of the double play opportunity.
There's a balk on the play, on the pitcher, and a run will score.
Not something you see a whole lot, but they call a balk. And it seems to be an issue where every other pitcher that's come in for the Wake Forest Fungo has struggled mightily. You saw Houston Wills give up a few runs, and now a balk and an unearned run so far for Dintner. The 2-0 pitch. That one bounces in, a 3-0 count once again.
So the Ducks have to score 3 more here in the top half of the 7th to extend this ball game. It's a 10-run rule after 7.
3-0 pitch outside, ball 4. So runners on the corner brings back that double play opportunity. But with someone struggling as mightily
Isaiah Harrison.
as Dintner has been, it's getting a little tough to imagine that possibility.
That's the first time Swankamp has been on base tonight.
Here's up Harrison, one of the few players on the Ducks get a hit tonight. That's a first pitch ball. From Dintner, nobody warming up in the bullpen for the Fungo. Under the impression that this game will reach its conclusion. It's that pitch right down the middle for strike 1.
With it's 3 runs across for the Ducks, there's only been 2 hits. And the rest have been either
Walks.
a walk
Or a balk.
Yep.
First one we've seen this season.
We have a sac fly.
Next pitch from Dintner, low for ball 2.
Clearly upset with himself there, Dintner. Number 42 for the Fungo. Shaking his head, kicking the ground.
2-1 pitch from Dintner. That one's hit deep into the air, into right field. Trying to give chase on it is Fox. And he can't make the play, goes over his head and rolls to the wall. That will allow Swankamp to get all the way up to third or try to. The cutoff play.
He's out.
They got him. He's out.
What a
That's
play.
out number 2. A beautiful play. Great relay throw. I believe that was Mina that moved over to short that made the relay throw to third.
Let me tell you right now. So that's Swankamp who got thrown there at third. One, he wasn't running fast enough for the guy that actually hit the ball behind him. And Hairston. He made him slow down after the run, and then he rounded second. The throw was already in the air before he reached halfway. Just bad base running. But it's 15-4.
Great play. Brings up Paxton Tucker. Excuse me, that's not Paxton Tucker. That is the former pitcher that was on the mound. That's Trey Sauls.
From Mid-Atlantic Christian Academy out of Greensboro, North Carolina.
Well, first pitch ball. Sauls the last chance for the Ducks that we're under the impression of, at least, with a 15-4 game. If he hits a home run, we keep on playing.
Yep.
Otherwise, this game will reach its conclusion.
Good pitch. There you go.
2-0 pitch right down the middle for strike one. And Dittner and the Fungo just 2 strikes away from winning their 4th straight game.
Another balk.
They called another balk, which moves a runner into scoring position.
And Jordan says, what's happening? What are you doing? How is that a balk?
Going to talk to Dittner now on the mound, trying to get a little communication now with 2 balks already in this inning, and the new pitcher struggling to find his rhythm.
So we saw a balk the other night for Julio Teheran from Milwaukee, who formerly of the Braves, all-star pitcher. Been kind of often on either out of baseball, back in the minors. Saw the balk walk in a run. And so here you have to, as a balk, you have to be able to come to a complete set, a complete halt, and then make your. So if you make any kind of gesture towards first or second or whatever it is, they're going to call a balk. But if you come to a complete set, they can't call a balk. So I'm not sure.
Well, we saw it a couple days ago, too, in an Astros-Dodgers game where the balk from the Astros pitcher brought in the winning run.
That's right.
And then the Astros pitcher, after getting out of that jam,
he was livid.
Had a few choice words for the second base umpire and got himself ejected from the game. So there's been a lot of controversy around balks in major leagues, and we're seeing some tonight, and that pitch catches the outside corner. So a full count now, final pitch potentially of the night. We think, again, we have no idea how we're actually doing the mercy rule in this game, but a chance for Griffin Dittner to end this contest. The payoff pitch outside ball 4.
Missed. Man.
And that brings up Connor Kubis. The chance to keep this game alive, and a ball hit hard enough into the gap could keep this one alive.
Number 6, Connor Kubis.
Looks like that will be the end of Dittner's night. We'll have to see who he brings in to pitch now. Someone from the field. That looks to be Aiden Brown, who came into play second and has pitching experience for these Fungo.
Oh, yeah.
Talk a little about Aiden Brown. From Belmont Abbey College for the Crusaders, has a 14.4 ERA. 7 hits, 8 earned runs, 1 strikeout, and 6 walks in 5 innings pitched. For the Fungo, 5 games played, a 9 ERA, 5 innings pitched, 5 walks, 8 strikeouts, and opponents hitting around 240. So they just need 1 more out to get out of this game.
3 pitches, that's all it is.
Oh, is it 3 pitches? Or even 1 pitch, 1 slowly hit ball?
You got 15-4. Aiden Brown, who's been, again, he has a high ERA for the Fungo with a 9, but he's a veteran part of this Fungo team, somebody they need. Of course, Dittner was new. Jeske is extremely young. I believe they took him out a little bit too soon. Again, they had 4 complete innings. Didn't give up. Only allowed one hit. No walks and 2 strikeouts. So I think you took him out a little bit early. But the Ducks, 2 in the 5th, now 2 in the 7th. We need 1 out to be able to end this ball game. So let's see if Aiden Brown can kind of pick the pieces up where Dittner left off. Again, those runs will be credited if they do come across to Dittner.
Well, the last time Aiden Brown came out and played was Sunday against Thomasville. Went 1 inning, gave up a hit, and got a strikeout as well. So, like you said, one of the more veteran guys. He's a redshirt, just finished his redshirt junior year at Belmont Abbey. Been one of those guys that is one of the more consistent pitchers. It's what they're looking for.
All right, Brown, here we go, baby. Let's finish it off right here. 15-4, top of the 7th, already a 2 across here in the top of the 7th. Here we go.
Connor Kubis, 0 for 1 with 2 walks in this game as Walton back-to-back innings. He comes up for the 3rd straight inning. First pitch from Brown right down the middle, strike 1.
Yeah, different. Looks like the same kind of speed there for Aiden Brown, but a much different release point and quicker rotation than we saw earlier.
Next pitch, high and inside.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
How much time does he got? How much time does he got? How do you like golf today?
I am gonna get you out. You're out.
Oh, dude.
You're out.
We're making him into a competitor.
I love it. I love it. Need that. No, that way. You can do yours. We got two coming. We have two coming. Yours? We are doing long. Oh, that's
the guy was like, oh. I was like, where you going, Bob?
Hey, Anderson, we gotta get our stuff. Come here. Thank you. Huh? You are out. Both of us are out? Oh, okay. Wait, hold your hat and get your water bottle, please.
Take care of that.
Anderson, hold on a second. You're not going quite yet, baby. Alright.